always feels like the first time every time.
Oh. Well, I guess that's a mentality that you want to approach intercourse with.
I was referring to making sweet podcastian love.
Yeah. Well, it's audible intercourse.
Audible.com. Not a sponsor of this, but you could probably find some books about humping on there.
We sure do use Audacity though, which is very close to Audible.
Yeah. You're giving away all of our industry secrets here.
Oh, this I can't. I'm sorry, I violated my NDA just now.
So the problem isn't that like you're giving away our secrets. Is now people know we record on a shitty program that's free, and that we didn't shell out any big bucks for like
with microphones that are from like 2008.
And like the problem is I pay for the fucking cloud now, the Adobe Cloud. I have access to better programs, but
here we are.
I'm afraid it's gonna sound different.
Here's the thing: when you get to be a certain age, you become afraid of change.
Yeah,
that's why boomers exist.
That's why we're using the same microphones that I bought
5.5 years ago.
Yeah, the dollar store microphones from Long and McQuaid's. Shout out Ryan Long.
Awesome. Well, I don't think despite the fact that the word Long is right in that title,
no.
I don't think he has anything to do with Long and McQuaid.
It's his dad.
Is it really?
Yeah.
This is brand new news to me.
Yeah, that's
oh my God, I have so many people to tell about that.
That's another industry secret, I guess.
Yeah, my fucking friend Tim won't shut up about Long and McQuaid because he wants me to buy a drum set so bad.
Oh, dude, what you should get is a drum set. I've been thinking about you having a drum set.
I know.
You need an electronic one so we can make it sound really cool.
Yeah, we'll just like program sounds of animals screaming into each pad.
Yeah, if you want to sound like you're hitting animals with a stick, sure, we can do that for you, Jay. If that's,
I think there's a niche there.
Oh, all right. Welcome to the podcast. I'm sorry about that.
Well, listen, this movie, there is at least one animal atrocity in this movie almost right away.
Grindhouse Movie Club. Hey, thanks for listening. Go to darkroastcult.com now that we have your attention and check out all the pins and coffee on there. And there should be a discount code in the show notes. Again, forgot what I put in there.
Yeah.
But
something's in there for sure.
Absolutely. There is a code, and it's only good for so long, so you should go check that out. Listen to our podcast on there, Coffee Pins, darkroastcult.com. All right, and we got that out of the way. That's
shout out
good.
to Andrew for the theme song.
Absolutely. His link.
Shout out as well to Jelena for giving us a password to the Shudder account, despite the fact that apparently Shudder sucks.
Hey, it doesn't suck. They don't have any of the Friday the 13th movies.
Is that all they don't have? Because I thought it was like a massive conglomerate for horror movies.
I threw the word Jason in there, and I got nothing.
Nothing at all.
It was like they have like a documentary on Friday the 13th, but doesn't matter. I got all these on fucking DVD anyway. I've had them since I was like 12.
I think the only Jason movie I have on DVD is Freddy Versus.
Hey. You picked one of the better ones to have.
I definitely, at the very least, had it on VHS for a very long time growing up.
VHS, wow.
So I had a television that had a built-in VHS player for a long time. It's since been thrown into the garbage because it broke.
Oh my God. Did you tell anybody about that? Is this...
well...
Because that's a great shame.
Yeah, no, it was very unfortunate, and I was quite happy about having it. So, because I didn't have a whole lot electronically in my bedroom when I was younger, I just had that TV, and I had a bunch of VHS tapes that I would cycle every day.
Oh, hell yeah.
One of them was Freddy vs. Jason for sure. Kelly Rowland getting trucked against a tree is forever burned into my brain.
After racism is said to her, it's... Like, first of all, racism is said to her, and then, that happens to her immediately. It's not a good night for her.
Oh, my God.
She got from being booted from, Destiny's Child or TLC?
Yeah, it was Destiny's Child for sure.
And right to just Robert Englund saying something about dark meat.
Yeah,
and then her getting...
Oh, my God.
Popped.
I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then fucking Jason just takes a baseball swing with that machete and sends her flying.
Yeah, which is wild because he must have hit her with a blunt end.
Yeah.
It didn't just glide through
her. So there was that. There was Secret Window. Shout out to Johnny Depp being a cool actor. And this old movie from 1986 called Running Scared.
Okay.
Which had Billy Crystal and this guy, I can never remember his fucking first name. Gregory Hines is his name.
Okay.
And it's like fucking if Beverly Hills Cop had if Eddie Murphy had a white sidekick in that movie. And it's fantastic. Okay. It's about them trying to get coke out of Chicago. It's an amazing film.
You know what? I had a similar thing, but mine was just all of the Friday the 13th movies, and then not all of the Nightmare on Elm Streets. I didn't get them all. I might not still have them all.
So on that topic, since we watched Friday the 13th Part 8 this week, Jason Takes Manhattan.
Oh yeah.
If you were to choose between Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, and you can only watch one of the two for the rest of your life and not the other, which one?
Oh, it's easy. That's Friday the 13th.
Is it?
Oh, there's what? Four more movies? So you then have more movies to watch right there. Second
enough.
of all, they're just, I don't know. I like Freddy Krueger. He's great. Sure. Makes you laugh, makes you cry. But then there's
Does he make me cry?
Then there's just Jason, and he's just hacking away. He's just getting the job done.
See, so I'm on the other side of the fence on that one. I would choose Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay.
And primarily because it's so fucking silly.
Okay. Yeah.
Freddy Krueger is he's like fucking Groucho Marx, except he's got a hand with knives on it.
Yeah. But there's just...
It's just punchline after punchline with this fucking guy.
And then he opens his shirt and there's just faces screaming at you.
Yeah. That's a horrifying dichotomy in there.
Yeah. Look,
with that being said, out of the remakes, I would take the Friday the 13th remake over the Nightmare on Elm Street one.
Oh, for sure.
Because I was very excited for the Nightmare on Elm Street with Jackie Earle Haley in it, and I was extremely disappointed. I don't give a shit about actually watching him try to fuck kids.
Yeah, no, I didn't need to see that.
Much more comfortable with that just being a fact in the background somewhere.
Yeah.
As opposed to, Rooney Mara, get on this bed in this boiler room. I'm going to talk about how much I miss your panties.
Yeah. You know what I could have used was more Robert Englund in that movie.
Yeah. Any at all would be nice.
He's not dead.
No.
It hasn't been a long time since he's not super old now.
I would love to know the reason why he wasn't in it.
I think it was just we got to make a remake. Let's remake it completely.
You know that he would have been like, yep, sign me right up for that shit. Because what have I done since then?
Well, he looks like Freddy Krueger. That's all you need.
It's your idea of Freddy Krueger. It's always going to be Robert Englund's face.
I'll tell you who doesn't look like that. That other guy.
No.
Sackface.
And they fucked up the makeup. Yeah, let's just be honest about that.
He just looked like a burn victim. It's just like this. Who's this burn victim in a hat?
For some reason, and this isn't the only example, but the concept of going more toward realism when you're remaking a horror movie than its predecessors is never. It's very rarely a good choice. If you're trying to make something more realistic and it's a horror movie about a guy who comes for you when you're sleeping, think again.
Yeah. Maybe make your war movies realistic. Fine, cool. I'm cool with realistic war movies, but if he's coming for me in my sleep, I want his arms to stretch out super long and just scrape walls.
I want his mouth extending all the way down to his feet.
I want his tongue coming out of telephones.
Yeah, that's the fucking stupidest thing. It's my favorite though.
Speaking of Johnny Depp, I want him sucking Johnny Depp into a bed.
Yeah, why don't? I feel like Johnny Depp did one horror movie and then he was like, well, I'm done.
Where are the pirates? Bring me my mega punch.
Give me those fucking pirates.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
During that deposition, they asked him if he would be willing to do another Pirates movie if they offered him $50 million, and he said no.
Okay, that's fine with me.
That's conviction, Johnny.
Yeah, what's $50 million going to buy him that what he has isn't already going to get him?
Yeah, he already banged Amber Heard. Who cares after that point?
I feel like there's just enough pirate movies. We get it.
There definitely are, and the most recent one sucked ass anyway. So it's not like I'm fucking scraping against the wall of a well for another fucking Pirates of the Caribbean.
Well, didn't they just go ahead and make one without him because at that point everybody thought he was beating Amber Heard? Isn't that?
I don't know. If they made another one after the one where it's just him the whole movie, I have no idea.
I thought they made one where it was a kid. It was him as a kid.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Because that's always a good choice.
Yeah.
Mad about that. Don't do prequels where it's the child version of the character.
I'm kind of with you on that.
Oh my God.
When
has it ever gone well?
I can't. I off the top of my head, never.
Two things that you should never base your prequel on: the kids being like the kid version of the character, and going back in time to like the Middle Ages. They fucked up Ginger Snaps doing that.
Oh man, yeah, they kind of did that with Evil Dead, didn't they?
Rare exception because they're skeletons. That's fine.
All right. All right. All right, so this week we did Friday the 13th, Part 8.
We did.
This is the one
Skipped right in.
Oh, yeah, we did. We went right to the most one where it's kind of like, what?
Yeah.
He's taking Manhattan?
The first one where, I'm pretty sure now, correct me if I'm wrong because obviously you've seen him a million times. The first one where they leave Camp Crystal Lake for the majority of the movie?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they took 7 movies to get bored of lakes.
And campsites.
Yeah.
It's weird you can make fucking 7 movies around a fire telling stories that are only marginally less scary than the actual reality you live in.
Well, I mean, they're not only just a little less scary than the reality we live in, they're just as violent. Mm-hmm. So that's the best part. You don't have to step too far from reality.
Also, I was pissed about this movie a little bit because, well, first of all, let's just dive right into this.
All right.
For a movie that takes place like for 20 minutes in New York, they really make it seem like it's entirely in New York.
They do. They tried their best. Budgets. What can you do?
Tough.
New York's an expensive place, I guess.
Most important trivia point about this movie being it was supposed to be a lot more Manhattan.
Yeah.
And New York was basically like, no.
Oof.
No.
Let me play the world's smallest violin for you. Hey, fuck you, New York City. I can't. That's as much as I got for you.
I'm walking here. This is just, you're in the fucking writer's room for the movie, and it's just 3 guys saying that over and over.
He's just fucking walking on bum. Hey, I'm walking here.
Hey.
Oh.
Pizza. I don't know.
We just kind of went right to Italian.
Yeah.
So this is like got a classic 80s movie intro.
It is.
Just a disembodied voice doing some fucking monologue.
Again, as well, with like the same fucking musician making every intro to every 80s horror movie.
Hey man, that's the 80s for you.
You get synth, it's just a dude on a keyboard looking like fucking Phantom of the Opera, I imagine. And then, this narrator, and this, like, I got mad right away because the narrator is trying to make New York sound like it's the worst place on earth. It's like, welcome to New York City, guys. Don't be here. It sucks.
Don't be here. Let me show you why. Cut to just punks hanging out.
Yeah.
Like sewers being just smoky, which is like classic
First of
New
all,
York
open
City.
manholes, so chud.
Yeah, absolutely. This is, 9 years later, they still haven't fixed that fucking manhole.
No. And trying to make New York sound scary for all like the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Like, if you think it's bad now, wait until fucking Jason shows up in 15 minutes.
I know, but like even still, like the businessman getting mugged in that creepy alley.
Yeah, that happens right away.
Yeah. Oh, like that's what I think of when I think New York City is like
getting mugged in an alleyway at night?
And steamy manhole covers.
It's always steamy manhole covers and dark alleyways littered with trash.
And just dudes with needles.
Yeah.
Like that. There's like in this opening scene, you see 2 guys like clearly getting ready to do heroin.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just see a guy just jam it in his arm, pump it in, pull it out and go, oh, like.
Yeah.
That went on for far too long.
The most inefficient way to cook heroin, by the way, is by candlelight. I don't know where the fuck, first of all, you're getting candles over a Bic lighter as a homeless person.
He's also heating it up directly in the needle.
Yeah, he is. That's not how to do that. You're going to melt some things.
Somebody's got to teach these guys about heroin.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, they're not getting information from the right. Where's the mission?
It's like...
Where's the safe injection sites? I'm moving to Sweden.
It's like all they did was like, they saw an episode of like... I was like an after school special with Bill Cosby. And he's like, hey, don't do heroin. And then they showed this. And they're like, well, that's how you do it. Let's go get some heroin. It's got to be hot in the needle.
Yeah.
For sure.
Not hot beforehand.
Yeah.
Definitely right before you're going to inject it. I've heard the heat. The heat is really what gets the heroin flowing.
Anyway, so yeah, and it just goes on. It's just like, wow, this is drugs. Drugs in New York City.
So they really like, and this is sort of the point. Every movie from the 80s that takes place in New York makes it look like a goddamn third world country.
It does.
Like,
it
every
looks
time
dystopian.
I would rather be in Ethiopia than New York. Every time I see New York in a film.
But they got bodega cats.
Oh, thank God. You can get that in Toronto.
Cats on bread.
Equally bad. I saw, this is so off topic, but I wanted to bring it up. I shared an elevator today with a guy who had his cat in a backpack.
I love it.
But it was one of those like specifically made for cats travel backpacks. So it had mesh and then holes.
Okay.
And he was like, yeah, no, I'm just taking him out to get some sun. Amazing.
Well,
Get me one of those.
Oh, dude, they're good. I got one that has like the space dome in it.
Yeah.
So the cat jams their head in it, like, magnifies it, and he's got a big head.
It's the same it's the same thing. It's like the cat version of like those people that put the glass tubes in their ponds so that fish can swim up out of the water.
Yeah, it's
Amazing.
exactly that.
It's beautiful.
So cut from this just dystopian hellhole.
Yeah. Before we do that,
Okay.
I want to point out the first. Remember back when you could get away with animal cruelty for a movie?
Yeah.
They just almost drown a rat in this intro.
I must have looked away.
So after the mugging, the guy pulls the money out of the wallet and throws the wallet into a drum, and this is the same one that you end up seeing later on.
Oh, yeah.
And then a rat just crawls out of it, clearly out of breath from having been thrown into a drum of water over and over.
Oh, no.
Like, they're just like, fuck this rat. We got to get the shot.
Well, I mean, good news is you got Kane Hodder in this film. Who
Best Jasons are Kane Hodder Jasons. I don't give a shit.
Absolutely. And just for example, if Kane Hodder wasn't in this movie, Jason would have kicked a dog. That was in the script. The first thing he does when he gets to Manhattan is kick a fucking dog.
Oh, no. It's not Toby, is it? Toby the dog in this movie just gets fucked with like 3 times.
Oh, it's not Toby. It was just a dog.
You know what I bet it was is they changed it to a stereo because it kicks those punk stereo, right?
Yeah,
I bet you it was that.
Yeah, well, Kane Hodder put a oomph in the dog kick and he just said, no.
Yeah, we're not kicking dogs in this movie.
Now
we'll fire a gun at a dog's face.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But we won't kick it.
No, yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, cut to Camp Crystal Lake, which, I don't know if you guys know this. It looks an awful lot like Vancouver. It looks weirdly a lot like Vancouver.
Okay. Which part of Vancouver are you thinking about?
The part with where it looks almost like Alaska. And there's mountains where there have never been mountains before.
Yeah, I don't think the topographical terrain has ever been emphasized in a Friday the 13th.
No,
Camp Crystal Lake is like this weird nebulous. You don't really know where it is because it's supposed to be in every hometown, sort of.
Well, apparently it's right next to New York City because they're picking up that radio station
with no problems whatsoever.
Zero problem, and at like
crystal clear.
Right in the middle of the song too is the perfect time for the DJ to like cut in like a weirdo and be like, "Hey,
just want to give a shout out to the prom kings.
It's fucking midnight, and I'm thinking about teens." I just want to wish these teens good luck on their field trip when they come to our seductive city.
Are you 17? Because you're going to get laid.
This DJ is going to jail.
He wants these teens to bang so bad when they get to New York, at least by the time they've got there.
Yeah, it's such a weird like little thing that he cuts in like mid-song to just be like, hey, what's up? There's a fucking high school somewhere, and they're coming to New York City, just so y'all know.
I hope when the people who phoned in this shout out hear it, they're making out on a boat. That's exactly what they're doing.
It's midnight. You better be getting it in.
Why is it that every teenage male in 1989 knows how to pilot a boat?
Yeah, it's really weird how they just have access to expensive aquatic vehicles.
It sure fucking is. And no dad in sight.
Well, no, it's...
I can almost guarantee you that any father who owns a boat is going to be like, listen, don't fucking use that boat when I'm not around.
Well, maybe he gained the trust of the father by doing many chores to show that he's responsible.
Right.
As a 17-year-old who just learned how to pilot a car, he should definitely be out on the open water, fucking his girlfriend while the boat drifts aimlessly.
Yeah. No direction at all.
No, he stops mid fornication to like, oh yeah, I got to put the anchor down.
Yeah.
And then realizes, oh, here's that camp where all these kids died.
Here's a bunch of problems already. All right. And I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time on it because the first people that you see in any Friday the 13th, you know they're dead.
Yeah.
Like they're dying.
Yeah, yeah.
But this fucking asshole of a boyfriend drifts his boat aimlessly, like you said, into Camp Crystal Lake, goes outside to put the anchor down, and then comes back in the middle of being amorous with this nice young lady, and goes, oh, we're at Camp Crystal Lake. A bunch of kids fucking died here.
Yeah, what's wrong, sweetie? What's wrong? No, it's nothing. Just a bunch of kids died. Just over here. Do you want to look?
A bunch of kids our age died. Drop those drawers now. Great.
Holy shit.
And it doesn't change a fucking thing either.
No, it goes
like, oh, a bunch of kids died? Wet now.
Yeah, let me think about that for a moment. Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah. Let me think about it for a minute so I can get ready.
They're doing something in the bed, which isn't sex, but it's laying on top of each other.
It's wrestling practice.
It looks very much like that.
You know how, like, you go to, like, fucking karate class and the sensei is very gentle because he knows you're untrained?
Yeah.
That's how they bang in this movie.
Well, that's what it appears to be. And then they hear some night bird. And she's like, what was that? We're out in the wilderness, and I heard a night bird.
It's weird. There's not birds literally everywhere all the time out in the woods.
Yeah, a bird noise in the wilderness.
Unheard of.
Can you go check that?
Yeah.
Go check that.
Do me a fave.
And he comes back.
I don't give a shit about the fact that we're essentially floating on the corpses of children. Birds, though?
So, something you got to know about the seventh movie is that it ends with a girl using her telekinetic abilities to trap Jason at the bottom of the lake under a pile of wood and chains.
Okay.
And also on top of the only power line that runs on the sea floor. Or on the lake floor. The only power line above ground but underwater.
I'm annoyed by that. I know that they exist. The problem is they're so heavily insulated with, like, steel. Mm-hmm. In order to not get destroyed by anchors, which is what happens.
Yeah, by the way, anchors...
it's just a wire. It's just a thick wire down there.
It really is. By the way, here's a fun fact about anchors. I don't know if you knew this. They stop boats from moving.
They sure do.
So they don't really drag along the bottom, do they?
No, they don't. They pretty much as soon as touch the bottom, they promptly stop everything from happening.
Yeah. It's just an interesting, weird fact. I just noticed the anchor moved and
it had no problem collecting that wire and decimating it immediately.
Yeah, oh yeah. And if these two hadn't have been fucking and paying a goddamn attention to the water, this wouldn't have happened. This
is the point of every Friday the 13th movie.
Yeah.
Teens are neglectful.
And it just takes one accident and you brought Jason back from the fucking dead Frankenstein style.
Right back, you did it.
Oh my God.
Let me tell you a couple things that pissed me right off.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this about water. It's a great conductor of electricity.
Yeah. A
lot of people apparently are unaware that one of the best conductors on this planet is water.
Not rubber. No,
not rubber.
No, okay.
Rubber actually does the opposite.
Oh, so water.
Water's the problem.
Okay.
So we popped this fucking giant, what I can only assume is the only power to this entire campsite.
Yeah.
Fucking wire open.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see the electricity travel along to Jason and wake his ass up, which is hilarious, by the way.
And there's a good decent amount of smoke coming up out of the water. Like, you're cooking this man down there.
Yeah. Not nearly enough as is realistic. Those kids, that electricity is traveling up that anchor and electrocuting the entire boat.
Oh, yeah, for
sure.
They're
at least going to experience some electrical difficulties.
The boat should probably catch fire, if nothing else.
Yeah, and so none of that happens. This is the kind of electricity that is 80s blue, a beautiful neon 80s blue.
Oh,
Yeah, thank God, by the way, like, I'm super appreciative that this is like the only CG in the whole movie is just bad lightning.
Yeah. I mean, like, lightning rarely works with you. What can you do?
That's true. Yeah, you can't really just tell it what to do. And this electricity just loves Jason.
Only
Huge
him.
fan of Jason, and just there's no fish floating given the fact that like a giant electricity is just being let loose in the lake.
Yeah.
No, it's just Jason. This electricity doesn't give a shit about fish.
Well, maybe fishless water. I don't know, man.
Fishless water.
Who knows?
What the fuck else do you do when you're camping?
You just try not to get bit by mosquitoes.
Yeah, black fly season.
So yeah, he brings Jason back to life. Jason lets out this weird evil laugh as he floats to the top.
Heard that. Don't know. That's like the only time, and I can't attribute it to Jason because the whole thing is he doesn't speak.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know. It's I did read in the trivia that the director wanted him to have some supernatural powers in this movie.
Oh, well, he fucking gets them.
He's
had them the whole goddamn time. He's a walking corpse.
Well, he gets more of them.
He's an unstoppable walking corpse.
Something about this electricity in this lake really activated the same telekinesis that was used to bury him in the first place.
Oh, yeah. It really fucking amplified the evil.
Yeah. This DJ on the radio, I just want to point this out, right. Says, "Our Lord is a great one, young friends."
Yes, he does.
I hope you fuck. Because those are two very different things. Should have been like, you better get married first.
Yeah. Oh, he also says the ominous, what does it say? Like, the city of light casts many shadows. So please come to our city of New York.
I love Jesus, but he's long gone from here.
This has been a message from the Tourism Board of New York City. So this boat.
Yeah.
It's a big old boat.
It sure is.
Much bigger than I think people realize because Jason just kind of fires up out of the water and grabs onto those rails.
Yeah. He must have like been working on his vertical leap while he was dead.
Yeah, he did
out
that.
Of water.
Have you seen I forget who it was, but it's a basketball player jumping out of a pool like that?
Yeah. Do you know how fucking impossible it is?
That's what I'm saying.
To jump out of water onto land with just your legs. Oh my God, you have to be so physically fit to do that.
Yep.
Jason's just rock hard atrophied muscle. I want to point out as well, this is like the grossest that he looks in any Friday the 13th.
Oh, wait till he goes to hell.
He's so goddamn waterlogged that his skin is just falling off, basically.
He maintains moisture the whole movie.
He's just wet.
At one point, he punches through a door and leaves goo.
Yeah, he does. After having been on a boat for very long.
Yep.
There's nothing about it. That's what I'm saying. Like, his fucking skin and flesh is just soaked.
Yeah.
He's just a wet rag the whole movie.
I forgot there's a flashback. Well, so it's like they might as well have been thinking about 9/11 at that point because they're like, oh, we're not gonna bang. This is sad. People died. Then they show this weird flashback of Jason as a child drowning, but like they went with a more traditional looking child.
Mm-hmm. They just went with a kid.
Yeah, they didn't
really do much for the kid.
They didn't go full mongoloid
until much later.
Yeah, which I thought was nice. It was nice to remember him as a boy and not a lumpy-headed monster.
Now,
man.
What about drowning turns you into the victim of a nuclear toxic waste spill?
Well, the thing is he always looked like that. I don't know why they didn't.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, look, he's just a boy. Mm-hmm. But he's not. He's not a boy.
At some point in this lore, when he fell into the lake, he also was attacked by 3 sharks.
Yeah, and then they decided after digesting half of them, they weren't interested.
Gross.
Yeah. But all these movies always start with like somebody being like, a couple years ago, a bunch of people died out here.
Right where we're sitting.
Yeah, and we don't know who done did it, but let's bring them back to life by accident. Yeah. All right?
While we're getting our dicks wet.
On 3. 1, 2, 3, sex hump. And
1, 2, 3, sex hump ritual.
But yeah, so for some reason this legend was just regular boy Jason, which was cool because like, I mean,
you do see regular boy Jason a couple of times as well.
Yeah, for some reason, but during the movie he becomes, for lack of a better word, lumpy. Yeah, Lumpy Magoo.
Lumpy McGoo.
Yeah,
because he's gooey. So these 2 individuals are named Jim and Susie. And it's kind of weird because once Jason shows up, she calls Jim Jason once.
Oops.
Yeah, little oopsie that I assume they just left in the movie because she's looking at Jason when she says it. Mm-hmm. But she had no idea about Jason's existence until this asshole told her about it.
Yeah.
So how would she fucking know his name or what he looks like? Jim is a dickhead.
Yes, he is.
What is it with movies that we've been watching and boyfriends just being shit?
It's the 80s. It was a different time.
You can get away with essentially abuse.
Yo, you and I are woke.
Let me tell you, the abuser vibes in this movie are so strong that it's insane.
That's very woke of you.
A lot of fucking characters in this movie do things that they would never get away with without going to jail now or being canceled on Twitter. That's fucking stoked and smoked and woke.
Yeah, there's a lot of like the I don't know what the dynamic is. We learn later what it is, but like the teacher student weird like I'm driving you here, and then also the principal's your daddy.
Both teachers and the student. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dear God, with Charles, I hate him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Jim, in typical terrible boyfriend fashion, after telling this woman, "Oh hey, a bunch of us were murdered right where we are right now," leaves in order to check on the Nightbird, and then comes back in a Jason mask and goes booga booga, like he fuck you.
He immediately stabs her with a fake knife.
Yeah, without any preamble or like, there's no way she was prepared for that at all.
No, nope.
Great, and then goes, ha ha ha. I don't know why you didn't like that joke.
Let's go back to the bed.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, sex hump.
You're clearly weirdly interested in the story about these murders, and then you try to make me believe that you're going to murder me on a boat where we're alone. I'm ready.
Yeah, I am. What's that from? Like Always Sunny? The when he brings the women out on the boat.
Oh, the implication.
The implication.
Now,
there you go.
This becomes much more important later in the movie. The implication.
The implication.
Yeah, the fucking.
So then you get Jason showing up, and he's got like a harpoon gun.
Yeah,
which he misses.
He does.
Hilariously, he misses his first shot.
They're just sitting in the bed.
Yep.
No movement whatsoever.
Nope.
Later on in the movie, he's much better at catching people who are moving a lot. What? But this, he just woke up, man.
Yeah, exactly. He's
get him a coffee.
He's getting the rust out.
Get him a darkroast.com.
Oh shit. I like that. So yeah, he misses the shot and then proceeds to just, no problem, I'm gonna stab you with the gun then.
Yeah, fine.
Yep, runs the gun right through Jim.
Whatever the fuck works.
Yeah.
Now, so yeah, Jim dies in spectacularly boring fashion, and then Susie decides to hide on the boat from Jason. Which, okay, let me tell you a couple things here. I don't give a shit if you can swim or not. Get off the fucking boat that Jason's on.
Yeah. You know what?
If you want to live.
Rotten masked hockey man's on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, generally keeping away from him.
This isn't a time for a game of hide and seek.
No.
This is a time for you can see the shore right there.
It's not far.
It's like 10 meters. Swim.
If you knew anything about Jason, you'd know he's not very good with water.
No, he doesn't like it very much at all.
But of course she doesn't know. Who could tell her, right?
No, she doesn't. So she hides in a cabinet.
And she tries the next best thing, which is pleading.
A lot.
With the monster man. And it's like, at this point, like, why bother? He's already got the stabby thing ready.
Yeah.
You're a witness to his crime, if anything.
Oh, you're in more trouble.
At this point...
Even if it wasn't Jason, like, you're gonna be murdered. Yeah.
He can't not.
No.
He's made himself an offer he can't refuse.
He's obligated, if anything. I really hate the way that she dies because I looked in that little, and I assume this is where like blankets and life jackets are kept inside the boat. Yeah,
probably like ropes and whatever.
There was plenty of room to move out of the way of the harpoon that he's slowly easing down into your stomach.
It's almost like he didn't want to do it, and he's just like,
you're just making it so easy.
And she's just like, no, don't do it. Don't stab me right here. Oh, no.
I would hate it if you put that in me.
Ow.
So I decided that Susie deserved to die at that point.
Yeah, I mean, if
She did nothing right, and then she barely tried to save her own life.
She almost didn't even thrash.
No, she just wiggles like a snake in distress.
If that's what you want to call what she did.
Yeah. And then, and also, like, you have one bolt. He's going to fire off one shot, and at that point, if he misses, because you're moving around enough for him to miss, you don't even need to move for him to miss, apparently.
Yeah, he's still got to retrieve the bolts.
Yeah.
You've got time.
Plenty of it.
You could have jumped in the water and been halfway out by the time he reloaded and took another shot.
Oh, fuck, hang on.
Yeah.
It's like a muzzle loader.
God damn. So, yeah, they're dead. Those
guys
are fucking dead.
And then, we go straight to, what's her fucking name here? Because I wrote it down because it's an idiot. It's a dog's name. Rennie.
Rennie. Okay, I just said girl and guy.
Rennie and Ursat's mom teacher in the car.
Absolutely, Rennie.
And at this point, I noticed that everybody in the 80s, every woman's hair is curly for some reason.
It's a perm thing, man. That was
guess.
the look.
And, like, so laden with, like, hair gel that it shines. Like Prince.
That was the look, man.
I don't understand.
So, yeah, we cut to, I don't know, it's Vancouver. Is what it is.
Let's just be honest. It's fucking Vancouver.
Straight up British Columbia. Nowhere near New York City.
No.
Not at all anywhere near it.
You can't get anything this scenic near New York City.
No.
This dock.
And we come to just like, this is the cruise that is the graduating people that are being welcomed to New York City for some reason.
Once again, lots of problems.
Oh.
I didn't know that, like, who this teacher is as far as a parent to this girl.
I don't get it either.
They don't make it clear. They make it clear that Charles is his legal guardian.
Oh, they say uncle at some point.
Yeah, he's Uncle Charles. He has legal custody. Who's this woman? Aside from somebody who really appreciates her ability to write stories?
Well, yeah, she bought her Stephen King's pen. She better fucking appreciate it. Holy shit.
Also, she doesn't even know for sure that it's Stephen King's pen.
There's no certificate of authenticity there.
She goes, apparently Stephen King used this to write some of his, like, she just got ripped off by, like, a gnarled man at a tchotchke store.
Yeah. If anything, like, he scratched his ass with it.
Yeah.
It's also, like, one of those, like, quill ink pens. Like,
yeah, it's a fountain pen.
Nobody is going to be using if they're writing a fucking story.
No. You know how many dips you got to do just to get a sentence out?
Oh, my God. Especially when it's definitely at a time when ballpoint pens had been invented.
Oh, yeah. No, there's plenty of them. They're everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I would choose a pencil over that.
Stephen King, if you're listening, what kind of pens do you use, buddy?
He probably uses a computer. Like a regular person.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
And you know what? This is the 80s. You could probably just use a computer.
Yeah, if you can get one that fits into your house. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so we come up on this fucking voyage, and you got this weird, like, don't talk to my daughter?
Charles is, like I said, the legal guardian of this young lady, Rennie, and immediately, without hesitation, the first interaction that you see between them, he is so overprotective of her that I immediately could picture her being locked in a bedroom all week. Curfew is 5 o'clock. Don't ever see a boy except for me.
Yeah, so it's maybe this teacher rescued her because, like, you got to come on the cruise too.
Yeah. And meanwhile, like, he's just like, no, I wanted her in the basement cage.
Who's going to be making me pies? This guy looks like he just fucking needs a pie when he gets home.
It looks like all he does is eat pies.
A pie and a martini.
This guy's in so many fucking movies, too.
Is he?
As he gets older, he's in, like, a shitload of movies. I recognize his face right away, but he's always that dad.
Okay.
Very often, anyway, he's that dad, or, like, a police constable.
Okay. So you were seeing the students load on, and then we meet this, like, dockhand who just watches this bloody boat roll in.
Yeah, and this is a common theme with this guy. Says and does nothing.
He's the only one who's witness to any of these murders, and he minds his own business.
He sees
he minds his own damn business.
So he gets murdered for it.
Yeah.
At the very least, you would expect some kind of reward. Like, I didn't see Jason.
Yeah. I don't smell nothing. There's no rotting corpse in this room. Carry on, big boy.
When he sees the boat, he responds like he knew that there were dead people on that boat.
Well, the window's got bloody handprints all over them.
Yeah, that's right, it does. And so, like, he right away goes, well, that's Jason. Weird.
We are at Camp Crystal Lake.
That must have come from there. Hopefully Jason didn't hitch a ride.
Yeah, my God. I know he's in this water, but hopefully he's not.
This motherfucker travels by walking on like the riverbed like a goddamn zombie in Land of the Dead.
He does though. I think pretty sure that's what he does in Freddy vs. Jason. He like comes up out of the water just like strolling as
he does.
Just like, ha ha ha, got my handbag here. Just kidding, it's a head. Yeah, and this fucking this guy, at some point he's like, this whole boat is doomed.
Yeah.
But they had already like launched from the shore. They're taking off. Like, you wait until that to tell us now?
Could have said it earlier.
But like also maybe take his word for it.
Yeah, when somebody whose job it is to pilot boats comes at you with like such conviction that there's no question he's telling the truth, and it's bad for you, maybe take heed.
Yeah, you know what? The one time you don't take heed, that's when you get murdered.
That's 100%. 100% of the time, that's the case.
You get murdered 100% of the times you don't take heed.
So I got pissed off.
Wayne Gretzky.
I feel like I knew that's where that quote is from, but I always I forget. I only know because of The Office. I got mad because why the fuck? Because they know. Okay, Charles and the ship captain both know that there is an insane storm coming. Let's just take the 17-year-olds out on the water anyway.
Absolutely.
We're not going to cancel their fucking, what is this, homecoming or graduation celebration.
Oh, yeah, you're going to get fucking bitched at over social media about that.
Yeah, God forbid. We'd rather them drown.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
So, what do you expect? There's at least a storm, and at worst, Jason, and this isn't cause to call it off.
You know what? Given the fact that they've got all of the worst people from that school on that boat, who fucking cares?
They sure do.
They literally picked all of the worst students to bring on this boat.
Rennie and Sean are like the only two people on the boat who aren't dicks.
And Sean's there because his dad's the captain.
Yeah.
You find that out, that his dad is disappointed that he's not a boat captain.
What a shit-headed dad, by the way.
Yeah. At one point, the principal, I keep calling him the principal. He looks like a fucking principal.
I'm pretty sure he's the principal.
He
wears the principal fucking suit the whole time.
He does.
You're on a boat cruise celebrating, and nobody in this movie wears comfortable clothes except for Julius the entire movie.
You don't see one lay.
No.
Not one lay?
There's no lay. There's barely sweatpants. I'm getting into my cozies the second I get on this boat.
Gym shorts. I would have gym shorts if I knew I was on vacation. I'm not even bringing jeans.
No. But everybody's got fucking jeans on.
Yeah, this motherfucker in his suit.
Suits.
At one point, he comes up and he's like, doesn't this kid know how to work the boat? His dad's the captain.
So, and no, he doesn't. That's the whole point.
What the fuck kind of logic is that?
He's barely legal and definitely doesn't have a boating license.
No.
But his shithead dad captain goes, hey, you're piloting the boat today. Surprise.
Yep. Hey, this is illegal.
And then has the audacity to get fucking mad when he doesn't know what to do.
Yeah. Oh my God.
He doesn't know that he's got to blow the horn.
Okay. First of all, I'll give him that. He did forget the funnest part about
best part.
The only part about piloting train or boat is that goddamn horn.
It is. You could blast that whenever you want.
Oh, yeah.
And on a boat, it's even better because you're supposed to.
Yeah. And
you gotta.
And what are they going to do? You're out in the water.
Yeah. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm blowing that horn every 30 minutes.
Yeah. The second they get closer, you just blow the horn. But yeah. So yeah, he tries his best. He knew more than I did. And like, my dad installs, I can't even fucking think of the word. Furnaces and air conditioners.
Okay, he's HVAC.
Yeah, he knew more about the boat than I do about installing furnaces and air conditioners. So give him a goddamn break.
Just 1 second, really, and like don't come at him so hard that he goes, you know what? I don't want to do this now.
Yeah,
because that's what happens.
You just drop this sextant on him, and he's like, "What?"
First of all.
Yeah.
What the fuck is a sextant?
It's a fancy boat compass.
I've been playing Donkey Kong all week. Point being, this is so old that it's older than my dad. Mm-hmm. And he gives him it in a box with the GPS that looks like a Game Boy Advance. Like, that's what I'm going to be using. Fuck this sextant.
Yeah.
This is a doorstop.
I would definitely be like, this is for show, right?
A sextant, for those of you who don't, first of all, hilarious name. But it's essentially a monocular with measurements on it.
Yeah, it looks like somebody glued a telescope to like one of those like
a sundial,
like a protractor or something.
Yeah, and like He doesn't even know to blow the horn to leave the dock. How the fuck is he gonna know how to use that?
Yeah, for sure. The second he didn't know to blow the goddamn horn, I'd be like, all right.
Give me that sexton back.
Yeah, you got another year of sitting on his boat.
So we get that. He's pissed. Rennie's on the boat with a dog named Toby, which this dog just comes and goes throughout this movie like a specter. This fucking dog just disappears and reappears like a banshee the whole movie.
So many times I noted, where's the dog?
Yeah, where the fuck is Toby like the whole time?
What happened to the dog? Where's the dog? Oh, the dog's on the boat. Dog's on the boat.
Yeah.
How'd you get the dog on the boat?
There's a part where she's looking for the dog on the boat and doesn't find it.
Yep. And she just goes, ho hum. Well, time to go.
And then somehow it's back when they evacuate. Like, this dog is the most intelligent person on this whole boat.
I had another thing like that. I'll bring it up later when we get to it. But there was another thing where somebody just kind of fucking disappears from the film.
Yep. That sure happens. It happens for a couple characters. It happens.
Good.
Where is fucking dude with his video camera half the time?
Well, he enters an alternate dimension where in the daylight he said he had to go get blackmail footage, and then at the nighttime he shows up to do it. So
he was just in his room gearing himself up to that for like 8 hours.
Yeah, he's just like listening to the, I don't know, Top Gun soundtrack. Is that out yet?
Yeah, fuck. So our first interaction between Rennie and her fake uncle, her adoptive uncle here, is just between the two of them. Him being a massive cockblock, and then he continues to do so throughout the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Almost as if he's saving her for himself. And let me tell you, Sean gives Rennie a fucking necklace because they're supposed to get together by the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And that they take solace in each other for half a second before he just appears like the ghost of fucking's past and goes, "Stop it!" And then goes right up to her. "Why are you here?" And then touches her face in a way that only people who are married to each other should touch.
I didn't catch any of this.
That's what you get. So his character establishment is, far too involved uncle who doesn't have any blood relation to the child he's raising. Great.
Yeah.
And then we get my favorite character in the whole movie, which is JJ.
JJ, which one was JJ?
JJ is the one who insists on playing guitar.
Yes.
Insists on playing this fucking axe like it's the best thing in the world.
Oh my god. And camera guy is there to like do her music video or something, and he just dicks off and leaves her to like, first of all,
to essentially get taken advantage of by the person who's supposed to be the hottest chick in school.
Yeah. We cut to like, rocker girl, like getting this music video thing happening.
You know that this bitch listens to Poison on repeat all day.
Oh yeah, she's got the hair for it.
It's Poison and Van Halen and nothing else.
Well, she definitely has the hair and the guitar for it.
Yeah.
And then this camera guy's like, "Hey, haha, I gotta go take sneaky video of a teen trying to seduce a teacher. Ha ha ha. Goodbye." And she like wanders off and finds this World War II wartime ship engine room that has been hidden away on this. First of all, don't get me wrong. This is not a cruise ship that they've aborted.
They sure as fuck try to make it seem like a cruise ship, though.
This is a fishing boat that they've painted.
That's what it's the deckhand's boat. It's this dirty deckhand's house.
It is. It's very much like a very small fishing vessel that they somehow managed to fit all this stuff in.
They fit so much shit into this boat that's about fucking 130 square feet.
Yeah.
They got a fucking dance hall with like disco and shit.
They've got a sauna. There's a restaurant apparently.
I guess you will never see the fucking restaurant.
Nope.
But it just eats shit at some point. Also mad about that. And then the most expansive below deck area. It's the fucking Titanic underneath.
It is. It's they literally wander around like
there's more stories under the deck than there are above it.
There might as well have been a torpedo room, for God's sake. Like, make no bones about it. This is a very small boat, but on the inside it's like the TARDIS.
This is the TARDIS of shipping vessels here.
Oh god! So this rocker girl finds this badass room.
She gives this cameraman a brilliant piece of advice, which is This chick that you're driving after, who's never going to be into you because you have a video camera strapped to your fucking face. I, first of all, take that very personally because that was my entire life as a teenager, is never going to like you and is just going to use you as long as she can give you a soft chub. And then he goes, she's hot though.
Right?
Oh my God.
How does anybody get away with that?
What? Just being so attractive that you can do anything you want?
Yeah.
Because it exists.
I want that. Can I do that?
Guys like you and me, Matt, we can't have it.
Oh. Is it because of the old?
Oh, that's part of it. Also somewhat homeless. It's a little bit of the old and a little bit of the homeless.
I get it. I look like Charles Manson, but...
Before this poor girl JJ gets fucking guitared to death.
Oh, she gets bludgeoned.
You'll note that Jason just makes his presence known midday. We're loading this boat from the dock full of people, and he climbs up to anchor in broad daylight.
Oh, yeah, he does.
And nobody notices?
Well, they're all busy. They're all excited that they're getting on this fishing boat.
This is going to be a great, I wanted to go to the hotel. Let's get on the dirty, fish-smelling boat instead.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that we did this instead of Carnegie Hall.
Picture, if you've seen The Office, the booze cruise, but with more ropes.
And more basement?
Yeah, just a way deeper boat. So Jason climbs up this chain like a high school rope, like no problem. Yeah. He's all muscle, so I don't blame him.
It's mostly legs, those ropes.
Okay. Is he like locking it in?
Yeah.
It's all crotch.
He's been doing Kegels underwater.
Oh, God.
There's resistance training in that. Also pissed me off. Before JJ dies here, before we get into the real murders of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
When Sean and Rennie are talking about how they're going to spend this romantic getaway in New York, Sean goes, why don't we hike up the Statue of Liberty? It's only 22 stories.
Yeah, it's quite the hike.
Guess what? We're done. If this is your idea of a good time, I never want to be with you.
I'm out.
Holy fuck.
Peace.
I live on the 8th floor of an apartment building. Climbing up 8 stories wins me. I get winded by about 6.
Yeah.
I'm getting to the Statue of Liberty's knees, and I go, fuck this, I need a juice.
Oh, that's all you need to see anyway. It's just those knees.
Yeah, no, she's hottest at the knees. Mad.
Rocker Girl gets bludgeoned by just a very damp Jason as his squeaky wet rubber shoes just...
That must be the loudest shitty dollar store amp on earth to not hear Jason walk right up behind you.
Yeah. Oh, and
you get your first taste of him just popping into wherever he needs to be.
Oh yeah, he teleports like a motherfucker in this movie.
She fucking runs down a flight of stairs and he's already down there.
Yeah. Hey. Guess what?
Tag.
Yep. And tag with the butt end of her guitar that she left there.
Oh, that flying V really gets a lot of use in this movie for how short of a time it's in it.
Yeah, it's a fucking multi-tool. Guitar, bludgeon, thing that somebody trips over at some point.
Yeah. Oh, it's a death trap on water. This whole boat.
Oh, God.
Fucking Rennie goes to her room and sees a goddamn ghost. And I'm out.
Yeah.
Hey, are we still docked? Because bye.
Yeah.
This ship is clearly haunted.
Is it still docked? Because at that point, like, that guy had heard that murder. The dockhand, like, he was like listening down one of those classic, like, ship holes.
Yeah, he hears that I assume is just a vent.
Okay.
Because we see a lot of steam later on, which is another point that I'll get to that made me upset.
Yeah.
You're just looking out the porthole and you see a young boy drowning. And you don't go, bye. Also, I would like to think that just out of like Good Samaritan law, if you saw like a bloody boat wash up on shore, you're gonna hold off on setting sail until everybody's all right.
Yeah.
Especially when 2 of the students are fucking missing.
Well,
and the teacher knows exactly why they're missing. And she just goes, they were probably more interested in exploring each other.
You're not allowed to say that.
No.
As a teacher,
I don't think in charge of students.
You're not supposed to say those
things.
Don't
be like, yeah, those underage kids are fucking Charles.
You know they got their father's boat. They were driving here, and we're going to just dock and leave it here.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, they take off, bloody boat or not. They gotta get to New York fucking City. I don't know how they're going to plan to do that when they're in a lake.
Yep. You're raising great points. Didn't think of that one.
Is this boat magic?
Well, yeah, it clearly is.
Is there...
It revived Jason.
There must be a huge inlet river that takes them to the ocean.
A massive one. Also, what a trip that must have been.
And they got these mountains so close to New York City, and they're still picking up that fucking radio station. I just thought of that.
I'm trying to think of where on earth that could possibly be.
It's Vancouver, god damn it!
Within proximity to New York, though.
Oh,
it's got to be like fucking Montana or something.
No, Pennsylvania's got mountains.
Okay,
they
Pennsylvania works.
I still don't think it's close enough to pick up a radio station. But at that point...
On your shitty, like, ham radio, basically, also.
Yeah.
With an antenna. Like, that's picking up a 50-kilometer radius at best.
Yeah, that, and also, if you're that close to New York City, going to New York City ain't a trip for you.
No.
You've been there.
You sure have.
You've fucking been there. It's a thing you do.
Kitsch. It's like going to Niagara Falls.
It's exactly that. Oh, we're going to go to the big city again? Oh, damn it.
Sean and Rennie later on in this movie take a break from being frightened for their lives to just marvel at Times Square.
Yeah,
like it's the goddamn seventh wonder of the world.
And it's just okay, look.
It's a Batman logo and a Panasonic fucking screen.
Times Square looks exactly the same. It's these dudes who have these horse-drawn carriages that are all white and fancy next to homeless people.
Yeah, as if we get proper enough, it'll distract from the squalor.
Yeah, if we look fancy enough, they're going to know we're not together. Like, anybody's making that connection.
Ew, gross. Rennie's in the fucking room and she says...
What does she say?
You already know where I'm going, don't you?
Yeah.
She goes, it's her and the dog in this room, and the dog's on the bed, and she's writing. And she goes, time for some personal experiences to fuel our minds. And then she goes over to the bed and lets her hair down like she's gonna fuck the dog.
Yeah.
And they cut away like she fucked the dog.
She's getting ready for her night out on the boat, Jay.
Her personal experience is fucking this poor Toby.
No, her personal experience is going to be smooching faces with this boy who gave her a gold
It's not
necklace.
Even, okay? It's like brushed plastic.
It is.
It's so bad.
Oh,
Also, they don't even kiss until like the end of the movie. What a waste. That's what the boat's for.
So then I guess we cut to like this weird fucking fight club that's happening under a skylight in the boat.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
It's got a gym in it as well.
It does. It's got a heavy bag, so that's a real gym.
Yeah,
that's no joke. There's probably an exercise bike in the corner.
Yeah, and so that's right next to the sauna and the fish. On this boat,
so you can get sweaty and then fishy, and then hot, sweaty, and fishy, and you don't have to walk too far down the hallway.
Just the way the Swedish intended.
I don't know if it's racist or not to have the only black character in the movie, Julius, beat the absolute living fuck out of a classmate like he does.
I think it's a step forward.
That guy doesn't get a single punch in.
No, he
Julius
does not.
Barely breaks a sweat.
Yep.
And decimates him in front of all of his friends.
Well, that's because he's got those ladies watching.
Yeah. Well, he didn't even know until the end.
He's got those coke whores watching.
It's exactly. I literally just wrote in caps, just sluts on this boat. There's two guys fighting and these two chicks, one of whom is like a super racist, by the way, straight A student that's Asian.
Oh, don't point that out.
Don't
point that out.
Straight Asian student.
Not racism's in my movie. No.
Who's specializing in chemistry.
Hey, you gotta specialize in something.
Science for the Asian girl.
Well, it's better than mathematics.
Oh my God. Or piano.
Yeah. So yeah, they're watching and they're like, wow, this guy's the only guy I'd fuck because look at him beat the shit out of people.
And then just like a hot, helpful man walks by.
Yeah.
And then she changes her tune immediately and goes, just kidding. I'd fuck more than one guy on this boat.
There's this fucking handyman he's like classically handsome.
Yeah.
He's got a tool belt with
like,
screwdrivers. He doesn't look like he works on the boat. He looks like he accidentally stepped on the boat and then it left, and he's like, oh, shit.
Oh, well, I might as well help where I can.
I had to tighten a doorknob on the... Fuck.
Not even anything to do with boating whatsoever.
Yeah,
shit. I was just here to, like, clean a shoe. He looks like Eric Dane, who is from Grey's Anatomy. He's McSteamy in Grey's Anatomy.
Okay.
Also, I'm pretty sure he doesn't have a single line in this movie.
Nope. No.
His job is to be around and look hot.
And then get murdered.
Yeah. So these girls are like, man, I'm so horny now. Let's do coke.
Yeah, they are.
Off of a mirror like a real coke addict.
And this was the first time as a child I saw anybody like do coke. And I was like, I get why you put it on the mirror because you want to make sure you got it all.
Yeah. You can't leave any...
Gotcha.
You can't leave any behind.
No.
It's got to be a surface that will illustrate the powder remaining so that you can suck it up like a fucking anteater.
It's expensive stuff.
It sure is, especially in the 80s. Oh, man. Yeah. Man, oh, man. Everybody. I'm surprised this is the only chick doing coke on the whole boat as well.
Right. The blonde girl offers her friend, the straight-A student, some coke, and she's like, I don't want to get caught with that. I could blow my scholarship.
It's not, I don't want to do coke while I'm 17 years old.
Yeah, no.
It's I'm worried about the repercussions.
Yeah.
To my grades.
To which her friend responds, hey, you're talking to the prom queen.
Yeah.
I got it on the line, too. I got to wear a plastic crown for an evening. So
I have to look pretty for adults.
We've all got things to do.
So you think I would let us get caught with coke when I have to dance to a song later?
Yeah, cut to getting caught with the coke.
And right away. And this turns into a fucking after-school PSA.
It does.
Are you kids doing drugs?
Which drugs? Name them immediately.
Name all the drugs available to me.
You're a drug addict? Name 3 drugs.
And then Charles, who is the person who catches them, gets warded off, like, in the most ignorant, like, oh, I guess you're right way.
Yeah, even though he sees the broken mirror with white powder on it.
And fucking this Asian girl, whose name I didn't write down, I just wrote down Asian girl, because it's the only one in the movie. And also, according to the trivia page, the first time there's ever been an Asian actor in any Friday the 13th movie.
Look, I don't need you to pull these strings on my movies.
And they have her on a science scholarship.
Hey. Stop.
All right?
Stop.
I just want to make sure everybody is aware.
Not in my movie, it's not.
She basically says, I'm a straight-A student. Would I do coke? And Charles is like, all right. I guess you're right.
Uno reverse right there.
Also, Charles knows exactly how to administer cocaine into his system.
Yeah.
Because he saw the mirror and knew right away.
Yeah. He's a fucking adult in the 80s.
Well, this ain't my first rodeo. I gotta stomach you kids somehow.
So yeah, then he's like, look, if this is the way you're gonna be, I'm gonna be in your room and you better have that homework I assigned for the boat ready.
Let me tell you, finding a 17-year-old girl below deck on a boat and becoming suspicious of their drug use is not the time to threaten to be in their room later.
No.
So right here I wrote, Charles is one false move from trying to fuck every kid on this boat.
Oh, yeah.
All he does is, like, weirdly get too familiar with these fucking kids.
He certainly does. He certainly does.
In a couple ways.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll get to that in a sec because, is there a scene in between? Yeah, there is.
Yeah, the sauna.
Yeah. Oh, this, by the way, favorite death.
Thank you.
Favorite death.
We are in 100% agreement on this.
Really?
This is also my absolute favorite death. I do have a close second.
I had you pegged for another one.
But this is, the dude is just resting.
Yeah.
And Jason comes up and just takes a hot rock and stuffs it in his chest.
With no issue.
Doesn't care.
Like tissue paper. Like he's putting a present in a bag. Just, this is where that rock belongs. Fuck you.
That's where that lives now.
Rock guts, and that's that. And then the guy's just like, oh, hey, what's up? He's like got a face thing over his face, like, yo, thanks
no hard feelings about that fight.
Yeah.
Thanks for beating my ass in front of my friends. Yeah.
I'm just naked on this board. Hopefully nothing bad happens to me. And then Rock.
I'm putting a lot of trust in people whose job it is to pull pranks at my expense because we're in high school.
Now, JK, Rock death.
Yeah, Rock.
Easily one of the best ones. And then then the one of the funnier scenes is this where they find out that because the girl whom the principal's too protective over also caught them with the coke, and they're like,
Right.
hey, you want to do a bump?
Yeah.
And she's like, nah. They think that she narked. So what they do is they just push her the fuck overboard. They find out she hates water, like, well, you know what? Instead of throwing a glass of water on her, let's just almost kill her by pushing her into the water at night.
You could have just handed her a bucket of water.
No, no, she just whoopsie poopsie and stumbles into her.
Nearly murders a person.
Sends her flying.
Yeah. With her shoulder. Like, this bitch plays rugby in addition to being the prom queen.
For sure she does.
Speaking of, and I use bitch in this case. Because she is one?
Yeah, okay, sure.
Because she sure the fuck is one the whole movie.
I'll let you label her as that, for sure.
Yep. And so this is what, I didn't get to see. All I saw was Rennie shows up, busts me with coke, leaves, and then Charles shows up, and we know that they're related. She must have told him. Mm-hmm. There's no other. So now, I'll kill her.
Yup. Oopsie.
Great.
I'm on coke.
It was an accident. One of the things I noticed in this movie, and it happens again with, I don't know how to put this, the heroine rape later.
Hey, you know what? That's the best way to put it.
That's what the fuck it is.
That's the actual way you should probably label it.
Jesus Christ, a Jason movie.
Yeah.
Really just comes out guns blazing with the heroine rape.
Look, he went to New York City. You got New York City. That never happens in any other movie. You put Jason anywhere else. Hell, space, the camp.
Yeah. The worst place on earth is New York City, according to this movie, and every movie set in New York City in the 80s.
The worst you got in any other movie was just a little bit of marijuana and some intimate, casual, but consensual.
That's important.
Light sex.
Not in Jason movie. Not in Jason 8.
Nope.
Nobody really reacts to the drugs that they took.
I said for somebody who just took her first shot of H, she sure has a lot of fight.
It really didn't affect her at all. And in this case as well, with these two chicks, they do straight up lines, like long ones, and don't really change their behavior.
Yeah.
Like like everybody at this high school is just well versed.
Well,
they've been knowing what's up since 10th grade.
They've got a high tolerance. It's the 80s, Jay. Like I said, everybody's doing cocaine in the 80s. That's just what happens.
Yep, so that fucking happens. Again, we see the deckhand being Sandra Bullock in Premonition by being like, we're fucked, Jason's back. And again, nobody heeds him.
Well, he waited too long. We're already going.
But he wouldn't just pull that out of his asshole.
I know.
That's so specific. Jason is back, guys.
Yeah,
it's not a murderer's on the boat. It's not, I'm a little bit worried that we're in danger. No. It's fucking Jason. I'm telling you now.
That does have like an edge to it.
Yeah.
You know, knowing where you are and the history of the water.
Not hard for me to be convinced by a guy saying that.
No, especially when he's the Harbinger in the fucking film.
He sure is.
Nobody ever listens to the Harbinger.
No, not ever. And he gets his for it, unfortunately. Rennie really should have followed the dog when it ran out of the room after the first time she saw the ghost.
Yep.
That dog knows exactly what to do and where to hide, apparently.
That dog is Houdini.
Yeah. He's gonna lead you into a closet and you're gonna end up in a trunk across the boat.
Yeah, it gets very Scooby-Doo like.
It sure does. With these fucking tiny hallways and doors opening and closing.
There's a scene in this movie where the principal's going through some hallways and he comes upon the camera guy and he's like, where's Rennie? There's tarot card reading happening in this other room.
Oh, and that's totally what it is. They just call it predictions.
Yeah, and the guy's like...
What a dickhead Charles is to this poor kid, by the way.
Yeah. The camera guy's like, well, you know, not all of us want our fortune read or our future predicted. And he's like, yeah, in your case, I bet that's true.
What the fuck does that mean? Teach?
Just a rude-ass guy. He hasn't done anything wrong yet.
I'm just trying to shoot video, man.
Yeah, he is.
You're going to want to remember this.
Yeah. This is what you get.
Oh, yeah. At that point, I would definitely be blackmailing him with porn footage.
Oh, for sure.
So we get that. We get the fucking Jason has no order that's reasonable in killing people.
Well, it's supposed to be like people doing it and people doing drugs first.
So, okay, but then he also fucks up the captain and his fucking second in command almost right away.
Well, they would have helped. They would have been like, they would have known what to do to get him out there. So he's like, oh, I gotta kill all these kids. I can't. It's like strategy.
Fine. And then we got fucking Rennie walking around the boat trying to find Toby. And at one point, he just pops his head out of a door.
Yeah, he does.
And goes, oh, I saw that. And that's it.
What's going on in this room? Oh, Lord.
So Charles, keeping good to his word.
Yes, he does.
Does indeed show up. I feel like I wrote her name down, but I might not have.
Bitch.
Bitch. It might be Colleen. No, Colleen's the teacher. Okay, so I didn't. Shows up to Bitch's room, and this woman, first of all, has contraband on the boat in the form of champagne, and he does almost nothing about that aside from take it away.
Yeah, oh, she found it.
Oh, I just found this bottle of champagne on this boat in this confined space.
Ooh, whoopsie poopsie. I broke into the restaurant and stole it. Is that what you wanted to hear?
And then, don't you want to see my biology project?
And at that point,
it's me, ass naked.
Noticing she's in a robe, I would have been like,
bye.
You better be turning around to get it out of a fucking briefcase. By the way, if you can't see me right now, I'm looking directly up.
Not forward.
Yeah. And the second she decides to disrobe, his tune changes to a fucking high note there.
Extremely soft and doesn't avert his gaze even remotely.
Hey, don't do that. Wow! Oh, boy!
What are you doing? I don't know why it's Mickey fucking Mouse.
Yeah, it is. He fucking went right Mickey with it.
Oh, dude, he sees one barely legal ass, and all of his authority goes down the drain.
That young body just changed his all of his wholesome tune that he was trying to sing.
Yeah, because I'm trying to be a good role model for my daughter. Not right now, I'm not, though.
She literally throws herself on him, and he goes, oh, boy, I better kiss you until I decide not to.
Let me tell you, that is a young girl, and you're a grown man. You're telling me you can't fight her off if you really want to?
You are in charge of taking care of somebody the same age. Should you really be doing this?
And yeah, like, it's spectacular how he tries not at all to stop it from happening.
It's almost like he gets a full body, except for the lips, paralysis. What's the word I'm looking for?
For paralysis?
Paralysis.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets that full body but lips paralysis.
I guess at some point he comes to his senses and goes, now you're really in trouble. Which, it's not a great thing to say, given the circumstance.
Yeah, it's too late, though, because the blackmail footage has been made.
Cameraman shows up and probably prevents a statutory rape.
Yeah,
because I imagine that would have just happened.
Yeah, because
if he didn't have a camera and she wasn't like, well, I can use this camera to get him off my back, she probably would have just banged him.
Well, yeah, it seemed like he was about to go like, hey, no. Now we're gonna do it the way I want to do it. But then, thank God the camera was poking through.
And then for his trouble, he gets a door slammed in his face.
Yeah, he does.
And then he somehow calls himself an asshole.
Right.
He goes, hey, I've had a major crush on you for the majority of my teenage life. And then she goes, well, that's cool. Bye.
Yeah.
And then he comes out feeling like a dick.
Yeah, you would just get the hint, man.
Yeah.
That's the last favor you do for her.
Get it about 30 times ago, probably.
You would think.
Because JJ knew all about that shit and was like, okay, well, this is a pattern of disrespect.
Yeah, it is.
Fucking. And then again, for his trouble, he gets thrown so hard onto an electrical panel that he bursts into flames.
Yes, he does. But that's a little later in the movie because first he kills Bitch.
That's true, he does.
First of all,
okay, yeah.
He slips his head in the door and she's like, oh boy. And she closes the door, puts her ear to the door, listening, like, what's this monster man doing?
And you know he's going to hear Johnny through it.
Yeah.
But this one, for some reason, takes like an inordinate amount of time. For him to travel from where he was standing to that door to punch a hole in it, like, way too, like, I was sitting there waiting for the jump scare I knew was going to happen.
Yeah.
So long that I noticed I was waiting for it.
But yeah, he punches through the door so hard, he grabs her by the the robe and makes her naked so hard she flies against the wall and dies.
She doesn't fly against the wall and die.
Right.
She flies against the mirror and bashes her head busts it. And then he goes, well, thanks for the help. And then grabs a shard of glass to stab her with.
Yeah. And in just pure irony, she dies face down on a piece of mirror.
There's something to be said about vanity there.
There is.
And pride.
And cocaine.
Probably, if she had done another bump, she would have survived that.
Well,
you probably move really quick when you're high as fuck on cocaine.
Yeah, you get that coke energy. It's like, I don't know, is it like PCP? I don't.
So then we go to the Asian girl. Asian girl.
Sure do.
I'm pretty sure is right next. Comes like a good friend to check in.
Right.
After she peaced out because it was getting too weird after her friend tried to drown a woman.
Yeah. She really picked the best time to peace out.
Yeah.
After the cocaine and after the drowning.
Mm-hmm. And then she's like, well, now I've had enough.
Yeah, you couldn't do the cocaine and then leave before the drowning. Mm. No, you had to stick around for the drowning.
This woman is an idiot. And promptly deserves to die. A couple really funny things happen, actually. So Jason finds her. She runs into the disco hall.
Yep.
Which we didn't even talk about how, like, this movie is why white people get made fun of when they're dancing. Because there's a scene in this disco hall very early on in the movie where it's a bunch of white people dancing horribly.
I missed that.
This, like, picture what the meme of white people dancing is.
Oh, no.
And there's 12 people doing that.
Oh, no.
So she makes her way into the fucking disco hall and for some reason gets vertigo all of a sudden and just spins in a circle instead of running away from the thing that's trying to kill her.
Yeah, she checks 2 locked doors and then turns around to find that, oh, lo and behold, Jason is still there.
And then he picks her up by her throat and strangles her to death and then chucks her like a bag of wet fish onto the ground.
Yeah, he does.
This poor woman hits the ground so fucking hard, I had to watch it twice.
The disrespect.
It was, he doesn't give a fuck about bodies.
Nope.
She thumps like somebody who fell off a bike from 2 stories up.
That's one of my favorite things.
Oh my God.
Even in like Jason X when he kills the 2 ladies who are like, he kills them by killing them with each other. He gets 2 girls in sleeping bags and he beats one to death with the other one and then he just keeps it just bangs it off a tree.
In the Friday the 13th remake, he does the same thing, except he also hangs the sleeping bag over the fire first.
Oh, yeah, he does.
And then he just fucking bats her like a goddamn piñata.
Fuck.
It's amazing. So I got mad because just leave the disco hall. Like she barely tried. And then we get cameraman in the bowels of the ship. And the reason I remember that he's in the bowels of the ship is the fiberglass insulation on these pipes is so bad that it looks like a 12-year-old did it.
Okay.
As a plumber who insulates occasionally, I could do a better job than that is my point. Also, a steam pipe just bursts in his face.
Oh, okay.
And all that happens is his glasses fly off.
Yeah, for a guy who walked into the engine room, he sure wasn't ready for fucking steam.
Let me tell you a little something about steam as well. In order to turn water into steam, it has to be at least 212 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, you mean it's not just mist?
Nope. That's boiling hot water.
Yeah, nah, his glasses...
It's the runoff from boiling hot water.
His glasses are fine.
If a pipe full of steam bursts in your face, your least concern is your glasses, because they're now part of your face forever.
Oh, God. You've skipped over quite a bit here. Okay. So, yeah, he kills...
I stopped writing.
He kills the boat captains.
Yeah, he kills the fucking boat captains.
They get found.
They do.
And then Julius is like, yo, we gotta find this motherfucker before he finds us.
Bad choice.
Principal's like, watch your language, first of all. I realize there's dead bodies all over the goddamn place.
This fucking does happen right now.
But Jason does this thing that I love that he does where he props up the dead bodies.
Yeah, he does it twice in this movie.
As if they're just like... I don't know, dummies, like mannequins or whatever.
Oh, this will be a fun surprise.
Yeah, he's going to think his dad's alive, and then his head's going to fall the fuck off.
I'm Sam Pepper, and this is a social experiment.
Yo, I just fucking killed your dad. Look!
It's for a video.
Shit. So yeah, that happens, and they gather up.
Also, this is around the time where Charles should have relinquished his authority.
Yeah.
He tries to be like, he literally says, I'm the one who's in charge. And then Julius goes, school's out.
I wrote that way before. I'm like, teachers have zero authority out of school.
That's 100% the case.
what's the point?
And we have dead bodies. Probably recognize the situation that you're in and stop trying to take control of it.
Yeah, it's fucking Lord of the Flies, Mad Max.
Especially when he's got the worst fucking advice ever later on in the movie.
Oh,
we're going to get to that.
He's just a pile of shit. He's
mad. So they get weapons.
They somehow
just find guns.
Well, earlier in the film, you see this wall of weapons that Jason pulls something off
in this high school graduation boat.
Yeah, there's machetes, there's
weapons,
knives.
Plenty of weapons accessible to kids.
So yeah, they find axes, they find crowbars, they find a couple shotguns, and they're like, they all open up, everybody grabs everything.
Julius, by the way, double cocks that shotgun. I just wanted to point that out to you specifically. Good waste of a round right there.
Yep. If there was anything even in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they find all these things. They don't really show you what's in there, and they just see people grabbing weapons. And he's like, "Yo, Julius, what are you taking?" He's like, "Nothing, but this shotgun." And it's like
amazing comedic turn, dude. Because Julius is the guy who clearly is a monster with his fists.
Yeah.
So you think that I'm just gonna fist fight this motherfucker to death. Just kidding. I'll take the gun, please.
Yeah. So you're telling me there are people picking blunt objects over guns?
Yeah.
There were guns, and somebody went, "Nah, crowbar. Got the crowbar."
I did notice that as well. Like, everybody had chosen a weapon but him, and they all left the shotgun.
There's two shotguns, because also camera guy picks one up at some point. And
I think at the very beginning of that scene, he grabs it. Like, he's the first one to grab something.
Well, I would have been the first one to grab a shotgun, too.
100%. Jason or not, I don't care.
Yeah, then I think we cut to him, like, being in that room.
Yeah.
And he shoots the handsome handyman.
He does, that poor guy.
Well, that dude comes out with a fucking wielding a screwdriver like a knife, or just like at least holding it like one.
And dude doesn't have his glasses on at this point, so like recognize that.
Yeah.
Okay, this guy obviously can't see all that well. I might come up a little more slowly than this.
Yeah.
With a gun in his hand.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, but he gets blasted, and then Jason comes along because he hears the noise, I assume.
Yeah.
And what does Jason do?
Well, he throws this poor man against an electrical panel, and that man catches fire right away with no trouble whatsoever.
And if, like, all it takes is somebody bumping up against your electrical panel for that to happen, you probably shouldn't have it in the same room as, like, the explosive gasoline tank.
Also, fiberglass insulation is extremely flammable.
Yep.
You could light that shit up with, like, a hard breath. So that is just a powder keg. The bowels of this ship are essentially an explosive device.
Yeah. But that's cool because Jason hit the fire button. So
I'm gonna point that out too.
He's like, "Oh shit, what have I done?"
What a responsible man he is. He hits the fire alarm for literally no reason. Charles still skeptical that there's even a Jason on the boat.
Yeah.
And goes, "Oh, what reason could there be to hit a fire alarm except for to cause panic?
Yeah.
That can't be a real fire."
So then he takes the fucking flare gun and he's gonna go shoot this like harbinger in the face for no reason.
Yeah. Oh, it must be the deckhand because he's the one who said that Jason was back.
Yeah.
I hate that he's right. Let's kill him.
Yeah. So he gets the flare gun and everybody's like, "Hey, no, nobody's gonna see the flare gun way out here because somehow
it's not for that.
They're no longer out on the lake. They're in the ocean."
Yeah, they are. During a storm.
They somehow got from the lake to the ocean magically.
They made it. They took the Welland Canal.
There's only one person who's got to see it, and it's this guy. I'm going to put it right in his face.
Deckhand's going to see it with both eyes. So that fucking happens. Where was I? I was there.
Then there's like a dude climbing up a ladder to get away from Jason, and he just yanks him.
Jason, again, teleports halfway up the mast of this ship to grab the guy who's 2/3 of the way up by his jeans.
Yep.
And chuck him so hard onto a spike. Also worth noting that by this point they've tried the radio, and in the middle of the call, Jason ripped the wires right off of that radio.
That should be an immediate like beacon for the people they've contacted.
100% it should
start a search.
This is the problem. That is because he got into contact with, I'm pretty sure, the fucking Coast Guard.
Yeah.
If your radio transmission gets canceled out halfway through panic after already saying Mayday, they're sending boats just to be sure.
Absolutely.
So you're fine. I mean, Jason's on the boat, but you made the call. The call's been made.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Well, yeah, don't worry about it. The boat's on fire. It ain't going to be much boat left.
Not only is the boat on fire, the boat also somehow has a hole in it, and water is just coming in inexplicably.
I really hope that I had just looked away and missed where the water started coming from. Or
I went back. There's no explanation.
No, that like it's not even like the sprinkler system.
Behind one door? The fucking hall is dry, and then one door opens, and it's like the blood and the shining in the elevator.
Maybe the fire burnt a hole in the side of the ship?
There's no explanation as to how this volume of water gets on the boat, unless it got on in the morning.
It got on with the students?
Yeah.
It just snuck on?
It did. It must have.
Yeah, well, that happens for sure.
They're trying to find like a way away from Jason and a way like decently off the boat, and Sean somehow just suddenly gets more boating knowledge than he had previously and goes, oh, we have to get off now because it's flooding.
Yep. At some point, Renee's in her room and Jason comes up and headbutts the fucking porthole.
Yeah.
And just like reaches his arm in and she like backs up into his grasp.
While she's also seeing a ghost again of this young boy. So Jason's in two places at once now. Mm-hmm. And one of them is a spirit, which they're both spirits.
In a way they are.
Anyway, yeah, he very much bashes his face through that porthole, and then she's decently far away from it and goes, oh, what's that? I'm getting closer.
I'm backing up. Oh, an arm. And then she gets him in the eye with the Stephen King pen for sure.
Yeah, she does, I thought that was a nice little homage there.
Yeah.
With the Stephen King pen. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Stephen King pin. When I was writing it down, I couldn't help but say that in my head, and then here we are.
So yeah, they get to the deckhand and he goes to shoot him. Mm-hmm. Too late. Deckhand's already been murdered.
Like fucking, and this is kind of funny. Groundskeeper Willie in the Shining episode of The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Well, that whole Treehouse of Horror, he just gets axed in the back over and over again.
Oh yeah, he does.
And it's the exact same.
Oh my god!
At the very end, he's like, "Oh, I'm bad at this."
He just falls over. There was a brief scene where the principal's hunting down the deckhand.
Yeah,
and you see like a knife, and then you don't see that knife anymore, and you're like, "Oh shit, Jason's got it." And then the deckhand runs up and like hip checks the principal into a table and goes, "Hee," and he runs off with the knife.
Me.
But yeah, and then they just all kind of evacuate to this boat. With the dogs there, which is great. The dog's already on the safety boat, ready to go.
At this point, and I know because you texted me about it, Julius, the only black character in the movie, gets thrown off the boat. All of these spectacular deaths, and Jason just like chucks him off the boat like a slave he doesn't want anymore, and then moves on with his life. Despite the fact that Jason is at the top of the ladder and they're trying to get into the lifeboat, Rennie really has no interest in moving quickly.
No.
To the point where Sean's like, fucking hurry up. And yeah, do it. Just jump off the ladder onto the lifeboat. Fuck it.
What's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to miss the boat and land in the soft water?
Oh, God forbid. I can't survive 7.5 feet of a drop into water.
Yeah, I've never been on a diving board before. Whew.
So yeah, this fucking dog is here. This is like... I don't remember seeing the dog from when it ran away from the ghost until this point.
Yeah, nope.
It just shows up again.
Nope. It probably it's just a magic dog. It knew the lifeboat was going, so I was like, I'm gonna get in there.
This dog also throughout this movie serves no purpose but to be a dog in the scene.
Yeah, no.
It doesn't do fuck all.
Nope.
You could not have the dog there and it would have changed nothing.
It literally would have changed nothing because it disappears for a large portion of the film and shows up at the end. And they're like, oh, great, glad the dog's here.
If anything, Rennie would have been better off without the dog because looking for the dog is the reason she gets knocked off the boat in the first place.
Yeah, and you know what? Bringing a dog on a cruise, kind of a hassle for everybody.
Where's it shitting?
That's exactly where do you think that dog is shitting? On the goddamn floor.
Yep. It's not going to go all the way to the poop deck to do that.
No, it's going to do it on any old deck. Because it's a dog.
It's a dog. It doesn't care where it shits as long as the shit gets out.
Right. So they paddle off. Jason, he's on the boat or something. I don't know. The boat sinks.
I don't think the boat, which is why there's no fucking reason for there to be so much water in it. I don't think the boat sinks ever. And then Jason just hops off and walks along the bottom again.
Yep.
Follows the boat. I was picturing him just like at the bottom of the ocean looking up and be like, they're right there. All right. I'm still walking.
Yup.
You could do literally anything. You could have killed them in the fucking boat at any time instead of waiting for them to get to New York.
I appreciated when they tried to paddle the boat away from the other boat and just literally didn't move.
Yeah, they didn't move at all.
I thought maybe he was just grabbing onto the rudder. He's just like, where are you guys going?
Charles puts fucking no effort into rowing and promptly gets muscled out of that position by Julius.
You know what? He falls asleep with his hand on the rudder.
Yeah.
And that's just moving around. So they could have just been going in circles.
Yeah. Also, it's foggy. They have no idea where they're going.
Oh, my God.
And they have Julius and Sean rowing the whole time. They're not taking turns. Sean is clearly so exhausted that he's about to pass out. At what purpose is he serving? He's not rowing as strongly as Julius is now.
Nope.
And fucking you're just rowing in a circle and you have no idea.
God.
The current brings them to New York despite their best efforts.
Hey, you know what? And as soon as they see that they're in New York, principal guy checks his watch like, oh, hey, we made good time. I don't know why he just looks at his watch. He's like, oh, fuck, right on time, huh?
Now, Charles turns from a creepy man into just a dickhead.
Yeah.
Because the whole time that they're rowing, just like in fear of dying at sea, all he's doing is going, hey, fuckface, where'd you learn to row a boat?
He's just heckling them.
You're doing a great job, fucking Gilligan. Everything that he says is some disrespectful shit to the people who are in charge of keeping him alive at this point.
Row much? Just fuck, what an asshole.
And even when they get on the dock, safely alive, picked a great place to dock the boat.
Yeah.
Hey, fuckface, get back in the water.
For real.
I'm putting you in the water now.
It's New York City. Where do you want, New Jersey or New York City? This is what you get.
Do you want dirty, filthy dock or dirty, filthy dock with mobsters at it?
Yeah, it's really up to you at this point. Yeah, so
this movie takes a turn now.
It does, because now they're in New York, and now Jason can finally take Manhattan the way he's always wanted to.
Yeah, which apparently is just by kicking a stereo and disturbing some punk kids.
Oh, the same punks from the intro to the film, too.
Yep.
They're still in that same spot, listening to like the shittiest song about living in a city. Mm-hmm. It's like, living in the city ain't so bad when you live with your mom and dad. And then Jason just comes up and he boots the fucking radio.
Because that's a bad song.
Yeah,
good on him.
They're like, hey. And then he just pulls his mask up and they go, oh.
They see the nightmare within.
Yeah, he puts his little switchblade away like, you know what?
It's all good.
Yeah,
I'll get a new radio.
We'll take the L.
I agree. Mm-hmm. If I ran into Jason and I didn't know it was Jason Voorhees, and I was like, hey, fuckface in the hockey mask, hilarious that he sees a billboard with his own fucking mask on it and just stares at that.
Yeah, he's like, hey.
That's me. I'm famous. If I see that face underneath that mask, I don't care so much about my stereo anymore either.
Yeah, no. In fact, I'm going to be running, I think. I think the second I see just fleshy guts hanging, I'm going to be like, we got to get a doctor.
But before all this happens, they get mugged.
Yeah, because like, what's worse than Jason?
Two Mexicans?
I wrote
because that's what they were.
I wrote down muggers with guns, with revolvers. Again, people picking you got 6 bullets. You're limiting yourself.
Not to mention the fucking kickback on that .42 revolver.
Yeah.
You're getting one off.
That could be a wrist sprainer for sure.
You're going to fucking break your nose using that thing.
So yeah, the muggers mug, and they make the mugging weird.
Don't know how the fuck Julius, number one, still has a wallet to give them.
Yeah, after being thrown from a boat.
And almost drowning, ostensibly.
Yeah.
Thank God I held onto my wallet.
Yeah, if anything is even in there, it's going to be waterlogged to the point where it's falling apart.
Yeah, there's no... What's a 17-year-old kid carry? $5 for the bus?
We got it.
Thank God.
Take that, kid.
And then we go, well, this is the only woman within a fucking 5-mile radius of where we are. Let's take her. Let's take her back to the pad, which is just it's the back seat from a van.
It's literally just like a mattress pad.
Yeah, covered in newspapers, and immediately shoot her up with heroin.
Oh my God! They make no effort to even ask if she wants it. They're just like,
you're gonna have it.
They didn't even flick the needle.
No, they didn't.
And these are the same people from the beginning who were just heating it up with a candle, so it's not a good. It's good. It's the same fucking needle for sure.
It sure is. It's giant also.
Oh yeah, it's definitely.
It's like a fucking like straight up medical syringe.
It's more like the ones you like load feeding tubes with.
Yep.
Oh my God.
And that heroin is the murkiest, yellowest heroin I think I have ever seen, and I've watched heroin documentaries.
I've seen my fair share of intervention.
Yeah.
But I have never seen like a piss.
And like not just cloudy, like a thick yellow.
Yeah.
Sometimes it turns like to brownish because that's like if you're doing black tar, that's what it's going to look like, or like brown heroin. But this yellow is not a natural breezy heroin yellow. This is pus.
Yeah.
So yeah, the needle's been well used.
Yeah.
In probably the same hole over and over again.
Oh my God. Ugh.
Now Charles at this point decides to put on his big boy pants and give the worst piece of advice in the entire movie as somebody who's in charge of children and women.
And what is that
in
advice?
A place where one of those children was just kidnapped and raped. Let's split up.
Okay.
Colleen, you scrawny, dainty teacher, go by yourself down these back alleys. You'll be fine.
I'm going to call the police.
Naturally, he's the one who finds the fucking police, again with inept cops.
Yeah, just pointing the loaded gun at the lady who's...
the first thing moving in the alley.
The least suspicious thing just freeze!
Yeah.
And then, Charles has to be like, no, she's with me, don't worry about it.
Because he must work that beat and see that always.
Yeah, these unsuspecting, innocent, just well-dressed, like, lost in a dirty alley.
You clearly don't belong here.
Yeah.
Have a gun in your face.
Welcome to New fucking York.
Fucking Rennie's got no problem finding him again. Well, I guess Sean has no problem finding Rennie, really.
Well, Jason has no problem finding this whole situation.
That's true.
The mugger's like, yo, we're going to make love now. Mm-hmm. No, you're not.
No, you're very not. Thank God Jason has some morals in him. He might be a horrible serial killer back from the grave.
Yeah.
But he'll stop a rape.
Oh, he will. And it's just like on a side note, like love is not made in a garbage pile.
No, it's sure not.
No, it's not.
There are no rose petals laid out.
This is not love.
Barry Manilow was not playing.
But in the end, the mugger, the drugger, he does get his needle.
He sure does.
All the way through.
He gets his needle so far through his chest that it pokes out the front where there'd be no way it's no longer in his body.
Yeah.
It's out the other side.
It's
now.
like Jason's put his whole arm through it to show you the needle at the other side.
It sure fucking is. And then the other guy sees that and thinks he has a chance to live still.
Oh yeah, he puts 6 bullets in him and then doesn't run.
No.
That's
whoops.
Survival at its fittest.
Whoopsie daisy.
Oh yeah. He obviously has to die. I forget how, but he dies.
I don't remember either. He gets his head bashed into another steam pipe.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
A lot of steam in New York City.
Tons. Well, manholes.
And then I think we cut to like Julius like just running around on a rooftop.
So Julius gets into a payphone and tries to call the cops.
That's right.
Jason has none of that. He doesn't want any of it.
He breaks the phone booth and in playing with glass, you're going to get cut. In real life, Julius actually got cut from the flying glass.
So I went back and tried to find like the actual point where he gets sliced open, but you don't actually see it on camera, unfortunately. While this is happening, the police officer, I guess that doesn't happen until after, but they find cops. I wanted to point out that while Rennie has been kidnapped and ostensibly these 2 Mexican robbers really want to emphasize that they're Mexican as per the movie, not because Mexicans are criminals, because this movie thinks Mexicans are criminals. Sean takes all of the time while trying to save her from inevitably being raped, as they made very clear, to pick up the Statue of Liberty necklace that they ripped off of her neck in order to save it for later. Priorities, Sean.
What a guy, He spent a good $5 on that, so...
Priorities.
Yeah.
At like a fucking... At like a waterside fucking kiosk, probably.
Oh, no, he gives that to her well before they get to New York City.
Where got it? Where did he get it then?
Fucking dollar store. Yeah. Where else do you get shit like that?
Jesus Christ. Also, you're going there, you're going to get better versions of that.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to the place where...
It might be more meaningful to actually get it from the place.
Yeah, so that you can share the memory instead of just, here's this fucking shithead necklace I got out of a gumball machine for you.
Yeah.
I also have 2 homies. Which one do you want?
I want the one leaning.
Remember fucking homies, man?
I fucking loved homies.
Shit. Amazing.
Oh, shit.
Julius gets trucked right out of the telephone booth and then somehow finds his way up a ladder onto a rooftop.
Yeah, as you do. When you're running away from somebody, always go upwards. That's where the escape is. Escape is always up in the air.
And at this point, we're treated to the longest fight scene.
He throws like 40 punches.
And none of them do nothing. I'd be quitting after about 7.
Yeah, Jason stumbles back a little bit. Sure.
He doesn't give a shit, though. You rocked him in the face like half a dozen times. Okay, he's not going down. I need to find a different plan of attack. Instead of just trying to hit him so hard over and over again until I'm exhausted enough that I go, just kill me.
Well, I mean, take your best shot is what he says.
Yeah.
And
Jason takes his best shot.
Yeah, describe that shot he takes, because it's a good one. He gets him.
He definitely connects with Julius, probably in the lower jaw area, with enough force to knock his head off into a garbage can on the ground.
Not only is it his head, it's his neck and just the shoulder area.
Yeah.
It's the whole...
Oh, so he took collarbones with him. That's how hard he punched.
It's the whole haunted mask.
Swish right into a garbage can.
Oh, yeah. Rolls down like some slanted roofs into a dumpster, and the dumpster closes.
Yeah. And then that motherfucker goes fishing around in there for the head so that he can put it right in the police car.
Yeah, he does.
And nobody notices... once they've all regrouped and gotten into the back of this police car, that there's the silhouette of a head dead center.
Well, I mean, usually when you're getting put into a cop car, you're not like, let me see that dashboard. What's there? You're like, fuck, I got to get out of this cop car. Okay, they went involuntarily.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Also, none of them get in the passenger seat. We're just going to all cram into the back.
Well, yeah. I think that's the law. I think.
When I rolled my car, the female police officer who arrived on the scene first, because it was wintertime, had me sit in the car for warmth. And she goes, I would offer the passenger seat, but I got all my shit on there. So I sat in the back. The cramped, uncomfortable back where probably a criminal was just.
Oh, yeah. And homeless people and drunk people have shit and pissed.
Yeah. And I go... there's not really a whole lot of room back here. And she goes, yeah, we don't want you to be comfortable.
Oh, my God. I like that she didn't move her shit from the seat.
No, she sure did. Well, it's like a laptop and a bunch of paperwork and shit. I didn't blame her.
Yeah.
We all get into the back of this police car. Jason promptly makes his presence known with a whole ass head.
Oh, yeah. They're like, where's Julius? And they're like, he'll pop up. Oh, he pops up.
He fucking sure does, like a mole.
And then there's like this weird...
the cop gets murdered, and then we stop looking for cops.
Yeah, the cop gets murdered, and they drive off, and she hits Jason with her car like that's going to do something.
This motherfucker left the keys in the police car in downtown Manhattan.
Well, he more so got yanked out of the cop car, so like...
But he was already out of it, right?
Okay, all right. Yep.
And he didn't bring his keys with him despite the area he's in. You're begging to have your car stolen. Or trashed, at least.
Well, he gets what's coming.
He sure does.
Because Jason kills him.
Yeah, he does.
And then his car gets fucked up. So not only is he dead,
so fucked up,
but he's also fired.
Once again, Rennie seems to have, you see maybe 5 seconds of her getting the spins from this massive dose of heroin she just took.
Yeah, yep, blurry.
And then that's it.
And then she's driving a cop car.
Yeah, with no problem whatsoever until she hallucinates another Jason.
Yeah, and these weird dream sequences.
They really make a point of slowing down the frames and zooming in on this Jason's face for a long fucking time. It's mangled.
It's not good.
Lazy eye having face, man.
They really go from regular boy to half-headed man, like he's just like a Play-Doh man, and they just thumb mushed his whole face down a little bit.
It was like a Barbie somebody pressed its face in.
In between here there's this dream sequence where she remembers that her uncle just fucking chucked her into a lake to try to swim.
Tried to drown her adoptive daughter.
And the whole time he's like, yeah, there's a dead boy down there. He's gonna get you. No wonder she hates water.
We really need to emphasize this. As a way of trying to teach your newly adopted daughter to swim, you tell her a story to scare the shit out of her at 10 years old.
Yep.
And then you throw her in a lake.
Yeah, and then you fucking taunt her.
You better swim or you'll die.
Yup. He's gonna get you. He's gonna get you.
And then fucking that's exactly what happens.
Yep.
And then he goes, I pulled you out. I saved your life.
Thank you. Oh, so much.
Here's the thing. When you save somebody from a situation that you have put them in, You didn't save their life.
Yeah, the saving of the life doesn't outweigh the fact that you chucked that little girl in the lake.
You solved a problem that you created.
Exactly.
At best, you fixed a mistake.
And it wasn't a mistake, you threw her in the lake.
It was a deliberate... Yeah, okay.
It wasn't a mistake, you threw her in the goddamn lake.
Like, what? Yeah, what the fuck exactly do you expect about her to... Like, I'm hydrophobic, and he goes, I have no idea why that is. Like, your entire... I don't know. Something bad must have happened before I came into the picture.
Couldn't
That's
be me.
why you gotta stick with me for the rest of your life in a cage.
Well, that's not gonna happen because he gets fucking drowned in the rat water. He gets
the same rat water that the guy at the beginning threw the wallet in.
Yeah, and that fucking rat
Didn't make it.
Still in the water.
Did not make it.
Yeah, Jason he grabs him and brings him over. I think he punches him up a couple times or something, and he knocks him
head
into the wall.
first dunks him into this fucking toxic drum of shit.
Oh, he shows it to him too. He's like, look at where you're going. And he's like, nah, please not there. Yeah,
Anything
there.
but that. I mean, same. Kill me literally any other way, please.
Oh, yeah, no.
So that I don't have to drink that first.
And into the rat water he goes.
He just leaves him there upside down, legs askew.
It's like an old rain barrel.
Yeah.
And it's just
got more than just rain in it.
Oh my God.
It's like dark green. It's Toxic Avenger shit.
At this point, we find out that Renee's parents died of a car accident, and then Uncle What's-His-Face had to come in and be like, they're dead. And then for some reason, that's when these two finally kiss.
Yeah, so this is a problem, and this happens a couple of times actually. And the movie, we're 3/4 of the way through this shit, and we're now just establishing like the solidity of the relationship. So we got Jason on the ground. There's oil on fire over here. We're laying down next to the car that I just totaled in like a box of trash. Let's kiss.
Let's just have a smooch.
Yeah, just real quick here. It's not quick either.
No.
And it's like I was just kidnapped and almost sexually assaulted.
But he brought her back her Statue of Liberty necklace, so he gets a kiss.
Thank you so much.
And Jason being...
Also setting him up to be the most abusive boyfriend on the planet.
Yeah.
Because she goes, it feels like everybody in my life dies. And then he goes, you don't have to worry about that with me. I'm the only one left.
Oh, yeah. That's not a good precedent.
Buh. She's never going to leave his side for the rest of her fucking life. She's going to be waiting on him hand and foot like an Asian maid.
Oh, God. And then Jason, who maintained a level of silence the entire movie.
Yeah.
Kicks every trash can over in the entire alleyway to ruin this moment.
Fuck this part of Manhattan. Fuck this part of Manhattan.
Yeah,
I'm sick of New York.
He just fucking stumbles over some trash cans or something. And they're like, oh, what's that? Oh, yeah, the guy I hit with a car? Yeah, he didn't die.
No.
Okay.
Despite being shot several times, and I think she's around to see that, which is funny.
I have a question for you. Because the female teacher was funneled into the car with everybody else.
Yeah.
Where did she go?
Great question.
Did she die in the explosion when they crashed the car? Or
I have not a single fucking idea.
Because nobody's sad for her. Nobody goes, hey, where did she go?
No. I have no recollection of her existence after the police car.
Yep, nope.
I assume she just got so traumatized that she's like, fuck these kids, I'm going home.
She just walked away from the burning vehicle. Y'all on your fucking own. I think, I don't know, like... I tried to count all the people. There was definitely 4 people in the back. So she's
Charles,
there.
Julia, Sean, Rennie. Yep. No, she was definitely there because the fucking cop points a gun at her.
Yeah, and...
That was it. She's like, even the police hate me? I'm leaving.
And I
she
don't
got
know
back in the boat.
If she must have, because she wasn't in the... Maybe nobody gave a shit when they realized she was in the fire. Like, oh, that's too late.
Yeah, well, fine.
Fuck it.
The New York City police response time is almost unrivaled. When a police officer dies, you better believe there are 20 more, like a Hydra, in about 5 minutes.
This is just like the fucking Terminator.
Where the fuck are the rest of these cops? You don't see a fucking cop for the rest of the movie, despite the fact that one's missing.
One's missing, and then there's a murderer on the goddamn loose
in the middle of Times Square. New York is like the best place for a Friday the 13th movie to happen.
It is. Go on.
Because I imagine seeing Jason is just commonplace. So that's not the worst thing I've seen today. I live in New York.
That's almost exactly what I wrote. Because they go into the subway. I'm like, well, why would you go to the subway?
Yeah.
That's where all the filth accumulates.
Yeah.
That's where it concentrates. And that's why nobody gave a fuck when this rotting corpse walked down the subway wielding a big weapon.
No, nobody cared for longer than it took to look at it and be like, ugh.
Well, I'm not dealing with that.
No, I'm just trying to get home.
Everybody's just trying to get home.
That wouldn't happen, and like maybe Chicago. But those are like the two places that are in North America that aren't fucking Russia, where you can see that and go, I've seen worse. Today.
I've seen that, but made of rats.
Yeah, so they fucking... the amount of trouble that you get in for pulling a subway e-brake, let alone from the conductor, but from everybody who's now late, you're getting your ass kicked all day.
There was definitely people being like, this ain't my stop.
Fuck face over here. I have a bar mitzvah to go to. I
really loved the way Jason took a tumble.
He got third railed. Great. Right after that, but his fall was fantastic.
Oh my God, yeah, the brakes, he fucking stumbles, tries to get up and act like he's still tough.
He wasn't ready for moving vehicles.
Yeah,
he's from a different, much easier time.
But yeah, he gets trucked into the third rail, which is the rail you never touch unless you're ready for death.
So this is why I brought up running scared at the beginning of this podcast with the VHS tapes. There's a part where they're also walking through the subway, and he reads it, and I think in this one it's 9,000 volts.
Something like that. It's either 9 or 6.
It's like right on it. Yeah. And then Gregory Hines goes, "It's not the volts that should get you; it's the amps." How about this? It's just the electricity.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of electricity if I touch it? That's all I need to know forever.
You know, it's not the electricity that gets you. It's your organs frying inside your body like a hot tamale. That's what gets you.
You don't actually die from a shark bite. You die from the infection. A shark bit me.
It's the blood loss. That's what gets you.
Yeah, fucking.
Oh, my God.
So we're running through the fucking subway, and somehow we make it into the goddamn... Now, this diner that they get to...
I love this diner.
Harken back to the time where people, when they were done with their breakfast, would ash a cigarette in the eggs.
That's how you know. That's how you know we're done.
There's no fucking server on earth in the States who would ever take a plate away without there being a cigarette on it first.
That's the Denny's motto.
Oh my God.
We don't truck it off until you ash in it. Welcome to Denny's. Did you want smoking or choking?
Amazing.
Oh shit.
Waffle House, I think, has the same slogan.
Oh, but this waitress, she's somebody's sister. It's like the director or something like that. But yeah, she doesn't. Somebody's trying to murder us. Welcome to New York. That's the response she gives these people who are clearly upset and have been through some trauma.
Panicking. This is like the attitude of every New York resident in this movie.
It is.
Well, you're here.
Yeah.
This is it, guys.
What did you think?
Sorry, but not sorry.
And then, Jason busts in through these glass doors.
Yeah.
He could have pushed him open, but
no, walks right the fuck in, doesn't care.
They somehow managed to find somebody.
He does it right before they get on the subway, too. He just likes walking through doors.
Hey, he doesn't need it. He handles. I'm from a simpler time.
Yeah, exactly.
But they managed to find somebody who's actually bigger than Kane Hodder to play like this busboy in the diner who gets tossed like a rag doll.
Yeah, no problem whatsoever dispatching that poor man.
Kane Hodder
is massive.
I've seen him in person one time, and it's definitely, I was looking up, and he was head and shoulders over everybody who was crowded around him.
Kane Hodder is fucking Andre the Giant.
He's Andre the Giant, but with more violence.
And a slick goatee.
Oh my God. He looks like he could easily be a WWF wrestler.
100%. He probably was, at least like for some kind of special event cameo or something.
I wouldn't be surprised.
He's in a movie called Harvest. Harvest? Is that what it's called? I'm not Hatchet. As the dad of a Mongoloid. And somehow, once again, that like Victor Crowley is bigger than he is. And it's impressive because he's huge.
Yeah. I don't know how they're making people so big these days. And then somehow we're back. We're in the sewer.
Yeah, they go out
the sewer.
They go out the back of a diner and like a retard, turn toward the dead end of the alley and run to it, and then realize they're stuck. So they go underground.
Ah, yes, where safety is.
Yeah, and they immediately learn that safety is not.
No,
because apparently the sewers flood with toxic waste every night at midnight.
Yeah, did you know that under New York City is just a wave of toxic waste? They just keep diverting to different channels.
It's like fucking somebody pulls a lever and like train tracks, the water goes that way now.
Yeah, exactly.
In a circle forever.
Yeah, it's just constantly just flushing through.
And this guy who they find who informs them of this is like some kind of he's got a pipe wrench, so he's some kind of fucking city maintenance worker.
Yeah, by himself, close to. What are you doing? Because he's like, yeah, this place fills up at midnight.
That's in about 10 minutes.
Why are you down there?
And walks so fucking like not briskly, even remotely, to the only exit.
It's a shamble or a casual pace at best.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, it's just, no big deal. The casual waste or the casual toxic waste is
you know how waste is.
Oh, it's gonna be flooding through here. I had to tighten this bolt. You see,
real quick.
And it couldn't wait till after the waste.
It couldn't wait till 10 minutes after the waste.
Yeah, no, I got to get this bolt tightened. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. And then you wouldn't want that waste getting into the bolt hole.
Immediately, for walking as slow as they walk, Jason does him in.
Oh, he's right fucking there.
Oh, drags him into the darkness.
Yeah. Who knows? He gets wrenched in the head.
Oh, most likely.
So hard, and it's great.
Oh, I gotta say.
You get to see the shadow of it happen.
Top 10 wrenches.
Yeah. This one of the best uses for a pipe wrench.
That one and the movie Super with Rainn Wilson.
Yeah, true.
Great use of the
Not 100% there. I've seen it yet.
Oh, he just trucks everybody in the head with a wrench. That's his whole thing. So yeah, and then Jason comes out about to truck this other guy. Mm-hmm. And she shines a flashlight in his face, so he's a fucking wild animal, gets distracted.
Yeah, like a coyote.
Yeah.
And she just goes, me though.
Yeah.
I beat you once, fucker.
You're not going to get me this time.
It's like, yeah, let's taunt Jason.
Yeah, exactly.
Great.
Yep. Welcome to New York.
So we fucking run around for a bit. We find an exit after Sean, apparently when he gets knocked so hard into the wall that he gets knocked out.
Yeah.
He's a puss with a glass jaw.
But he comes to when she says, hey, come on. Come on now.
I just did first aid course. Apparently you're supposed to slap people on the sides. Not in the face. Ever in the face.
Okay.
You see that a lot in movies when you're trying to rouse somebody, smack them in the face. No, don't do that. It doesn't make any goddamn difference, and you're just going to piss them off when they wake up.
Yeah, you will.
Hey, were you hitting me in the face, by the way?
Oh, my God. I don't know what it is, but like getting slapped and like...
Dude.
And getting in the ear?
Yeah.
Oh, that just sets me off.
Especially getting slapped awake?
Yeah.
I'm not waking up happy.
Yeah, I'm definitely waking up and headbutting.
So while we're trying to climb this ladder to a manhole, which apparently there aren't 50 of every block in New York, even though there are, Jason grabs them, and then the sludge comes.
Oh boy, yeah, like a wall of water. You hear it coming.
Around this time, he gets his mask knocked off. I'm not sure 100% when it happens, but you get to see his gross, disgusting face.
Yeah, I think the water washes it off.
Yeah, and I read in the trivia because you get to see him like stumble around in the sewer with no mask. Apparently a lot of the audience was disappointed with this face reveal. They didn't like it at all. And I kind of get it because really it's just, okay, mask flies off and then gross face.
Yeah.
But there was one part where there was some pretty cool animatronics with it.
Yes.
Like it was its like lips and eyes were just yeah.
Yeah, I did like that.
That was sick. And then, toxic waste washes over Jason and he turns into, once again,
a child.
Just clean and fine boy.
A real fun fact before that happens, so the whole thing is like Jason hates water.
Yeah.
He's hydrophobic.
Sure does. Yep. Not a fan.
As he sees this water coming up, he just starts throwing up water.
Yeah, he does.
And that is very real. And
yes,
Kane Hodder just chugged water before that to throw up on command.
That's probably the best part of the entire movie.
It is. He's like throwing up through a mask and like... Bleh, but it's funny to see all like just all of a sudden he's throwing up for no reason.
It's fucking fantastic because that's commitment to a character.
It is.
Okay, we need Jason to throw up water in this scene. Get me the jugs.
How close do I got to get to water poisoning before I can throw up water on command? Let's find out today.
How many liters? Like 5? Something like that?
It was like pitchers of water
anyway.
Yeah.
There is an amount. I don't remember how much. I want to say it's 8 liters, but before you get poisoned.
Oh yeah. It's not that much, to be honest with you.
It's a surprisingly small amount given how much water we have. So yeah, we just leave baby boy Jason in the fucking sewer.
Well, there's lightning that signifies evil.
Yeah.
The lightning hits
the Statue of Liberty and some buildings,
and which doesn't bring it to life and cause it to become a monster. I don't understand.
I wanted to see the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man right away.
Yeah.
Didn't get to see that. Not enough New York. And this is kind of the worst ending of any Jason movie to me, because they just come out of the sewer and then it's like they were never in danger of, their lives were never threatened, and they didn't just lose all of their family and friends.
Yeah, no, right back to smooching.
Yeah.
And then the dog shows up. Yay.
And then, yay, dog. Again, somehow.
And everybody knows once you've turned Jason back into a boy, you can just leave him in the sewer to die.
Yeah.
Just like any child.
So, yeah, and then roll credits.
Yep.
It's a very abrupt ending. Oh, we've dispatched Jason temporarily, despite the fact we thought we killed him about 5 times already.
Yeah.
Let's kiss in Times Square and really just love the Batman logo.
Just let everybody know that, like, Tim Burton made a Batman movie, and
sure
it is
did.
on the way.
It fucking is. Get ready.
So, yeah, that's literally the end of the movie.
I did the 2 sentences or less synopsis here.
I forgot. I keep forgetting.
It doesn't matter as long as we do it at some point.
And yeah, I got mine here too.
A group of small town high school graduates learn that New York is a great place to get raped and murdered.
They should probably know that before going to New York.
Yeah, they should.
Mine's a little less vulgar. Everybody needs a vacation.
Even Jason.
It's either that or you can't make an old fishing vessel a cruise ship, or Jason will punish you. That's...
They're really and you know, like, you've seen cruise ships, you've seen below deck of cruise ships. These hallways are fucking long and wide. You can fit like 4 people side by side in these hallways. Mm-hmm. And this ship has like a 1-person max. We walk at single file all the time hallway.
Yeah.
And just one of them.
Yeah,
where are you fitting everything?
Well, with the magic of cinema magic.
Yeah, right.
We filmed this hall from several different angles.
Mm-hmm. I also read in the trivia that the only shots of the actual New York subway are the external shots. Once they're inside the subway, it's not in New York anymore.
That sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I guess New York's expensive, though.
Yeah, to film in.
Yeah, so yeah, really it should have been Jason Takes Vancouver, because everything else was filmed in Vancouver.
Fucking British Columbia, man.
It just looks like everywhere.
Everywhere that, like, you get Toronto and you get Vancouver, and those are the 2 places movies are shot if you want to shoot in Canada.
Yeah, or if you want to shoot in America and can't afford it.
Maybe Montreal.
I mean, maybe. I don't fucking know.
So that's Jason 8. That's Friday the 13th. Jason Takes Manhattan.
Yeah.
One of the worst from a technical level, but one of the best fucking Jason movies in the entire series. I love this movie. I don't care.
They all got their own charms to them.
They sure
I
do.
love each and every single one of them like my children.
What'd you give this 1 out of 10?
This was an easy 8.5.
Easy 8.5. I went 7.5 for me.
Okay.
Mostly because I wanted more New York.
Yeah.
It's been a very long time since I've seen this fucking movie. I 100% forgot that 80% of it takes place on a boat.
I remembered some of it was on a boat, but I didn't realize how much of it was on the boat.
I sat down to watch it and I was like, okay, I remember him kicking the stereo with the punks. That happens like, what, 30 minutes in?
Oh, no.
How about whole movie in?
Yeah, one of the final credit scenes, actually.
For fuck's sake.
Oh, God. What do we got?
For this, I have 3.
Okay.
I have 3 based on themes.
Okay.
Movies for next week's podcast.
I'm in.
1, I did Slow Moving Threats. 1, I did Monsters from the Water, or Monsters in the Water. And the 3rd, I did horror movies that are set on boats or ships. Which one? Which one?
So, I think
Slow Moving Threats.
I think I know that one.
Water Monsters.
That one?
There's a bunch of options.
There are. But I
picked one that I don't think you'll expect for that one.
The one that takes place on the boat, I think I know that one too.
Likely.
So I'm going to go with the middle option, things coming out of the water.
We're watching Primeval next week.
All right. I don't know that one.
Dominic Purcell.
Okay.
Orlando Jones.
I love it.
Giant Crocodile.
Okay, I do know this one. Mm-hmm. All right.
You sure do. So it was either that or Lake Placid. And I was like,
Lake Placid's good.
No, it is. I like Primeval better, but Lake Placid is good.
Which one has the old lady who's just been feeding the crocodiles the whole time?
Oh, you mean Betty White?
Oh, is it Betty White?
You mean literally Betty White?
It isn't. I didn't know it was her.
Who at one point in that movie tells a police officer, if I had a dick, this is when I would tell you to suck it.
I could see Betty White saying that.
Fuck yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's goddamn Betty White, man.
Which movie is it, though?
Well, that's Lake Placid.
Okay, all right. We'll get to it.
We get Orlando Jones being racist against his own people for a little bit.
Orlando. He was in Evolution, and he's also pretty sure he's the voice of like the one guy on The Weekenders.
I would believe that. He's also Omar Epps' ex-criminal brother in House.
God, he's in everything.
He is.
Mad TV especially.
I keep forgetting he's in Mad TV.
What were the other two options?
So for Boats and Ships, it was Ghost Ship.
Knew it.
Which I figured you'd know. And for Slow Moving Threats, which I also figure you'd know, is It Follows.
Ah, yes. All right. Both of those are the ones I thought they were. I mean, yeah, slow moving, but like Jason, he like teleports like Scooby-Doo shit in this movie.
Yeah, I know, he does.
Especially in the dancing room scene where she's like looking around and he's just like,
boop, I'm here. So I was going for like the exact opposite because the monster in It Follows, you can track it. You always know where it is.
Like there it is down the street.
Let me go the opposite way just for the rest of my life.
Yep. Or until you have sex with somebody.
You know how you fucking beat that movie, dude? You time out how long it takes for it to walk a block, and then you multiply that, and then you take that amount of distance during that time period. Oh, it takes an hour and a half for him to get from here to there? Okay, I'm going to go 16 and a half hours this way, and then take a nap, and then I'm going to wake up and rinse repeat until I die. That movie is essentially just an excuse to travel the world for the rest of your life.
Damn.
Banging. Like also banging.
Also banging. You got to bang to put that monster between you and...
Yep, all right. Sure do.
So yeah, next week, Prime Evil.
Giant crocodile.
Giant. Is it an alligator or is it a crocodile?
I believe it's a crocodile this time.
We're going to find out.
Yep.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week. You got anything you want to end this podcast with?
Just a giant crocodile. I'm stoked.